Are you ready? Can Crush Us. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody, power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah. Can Crushers. Yeah. Can Crushers. Let's go.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
Ooh, oh, you son of a bitch.
Remember what we were going to call this episode? We were going to call this episode, I better stop that real quick.
Yeah.
Judgment Day comes due to, or whatever,
Yeah.
Michael Jenks. Because the champ is back. We the ones. By the way, I am roasting Jenks.
I was going to say, how are you doing this with a hoodie on right now?
You're
killing me.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
All right, so everybody's like, what the Christ is going on? I didn't let Jenks see me when I first called him. And this is going to be a complete shit show of wrestling. So stick and stay. Be happy about that. My order finally came in perfect timing to have a week off, right?
Oh, yeah, right. Perfect timing.
Not really perfect timing to have a week off. Right after Supercard of Honor and WrestleMania and so much going on. But it gave me time to get my We the Ones in.
I love it.
Right?
I love the hoodie. I love it.
All right, talk for a minute because I'm roasting.
But let's talk about this. He's turned his back on Sami Zayn here. You know, he's completely gone the bloodline. They got him the win. Judgment Day and the bloodline got him the win. And a Royal... Wait a minute. Bury the lead. I've not seen this Royal Rumble shirt before.
This is new too.
Oh, Jesus. Now I'm jealous of the shirt more than the hoodie right now.
The old school Royal Rumble shirt.
I love that.
Yeah. So once all this came in, 4 pieces came in. And it's finally my Christmas presents. Max got me the We the Ones hoodie.
Nice.
Miggy, I might as well show him to you, so hold on.
Yeah, I'll talk for a little bit. Meanwhile, he's got all this great wrestling gear on. I'm dying. It's hot here in fucking parts unknown. It's burning like hell. So I got a cut off Yellow Submarine t-shirt going on here. So I'm really wrestling oriented. Oh my God. He's got a Mr. Perfect hoodie.
Miggy got me the Mr. Perfect hoodie.
I'm getting really jealous right now.
Got me the Dusty Rhodes Son of the Plumber.
See,
Ethan got Son of the Plumber because it only makes sense.
He got the Dusty Rhodes shirt to complement the Dusty Rhodes action figure that he got a couple weeks ago. So I love that. The Rumble and then the We the Ones. Oh my God. Any other surprises you got going on over there?
Well, I was gonna announce kind of sort of what happened last week, but I can't because it's a secret. It's a secret for secrets.
Okay, so secrets.
I'll show you later. But
all right, so secrets on secrets. But we had conflicts. Things came up. Things derailed the podcast. So we were like, you know what? Let's just take a week. We'll regroup. And apparently, enough of a week so that Mark could get all of his stuff in. And now I'm going to pull the trigger on my FTR stuff once this podcast is over with because I've been sitting on it. Like, do I want to buy it? Do I not want to buy it? Because I want to get a hoodie. I want to get a T-shirt. I should support the new AEW Tag Team Champions of the World. So I'm thinking I'll pull the trigger again. I'll just pull the trigger on it and do it. That'll be 3 pieces of FTR merch, by the way, if we're going to keep count once I get those. Because I'm going to get a hoodie and a T-shirt.
I have to get something. For sure. I mean, granted, I don't need anything right now.
Well, no, you're golden right now. I mean.
But still. Oh, what a week to take off. I'm sort of depressed that we did, but hey, it's so nice to have this championship back around my shoulder. You had it for a nice 6 months?
You know what? As you
only
said,
defended it twice though, for God's sake.
as you said before the podcast, and what you said to me after everything transpired on night 2, the money's in the chase. So here I am chasing the bloodline again, trying to get the title back. So I'm on to you. Me and Cody Rhodes are going to be chasing you guys for a long period of time here.
I know, yeah, for a very long period of time.
I'm hoping it ends in about a month and a half.
Bailey gets a shot first before you, I'm thinking.
Well, Bailey's showing off her skills right now. She's beating up the bunny that she got for her birthday last month from the girlfriend. So she's beating that up right now. So Bailey's flexing on you a little bit here. You gotta step up your game.
I do have to step up my game. 2 weeks, no podcast. How you been? What's up? What's been going on besides wrestling?
Oh my God. Been a good 2 weeks. Just work, kind of just minding my own business. Bought a shit ton of mulch to start the outdoor projects. Yeah, well, welcome to the outdoor projects, I guess. It's that time of year. It's beautiful outside. I can't complain about that. I'm trying to think of everything going on. I'm in the month of everybody's birthday under the sun. There's at least 5 birthdays this month. So going through all of those motions, getting ready for that. Happy belated birthday to my sister, who she celebrated on Tuesday. And happy birthday to Kimberly, who celebrates next Tuesday. So we're hitting all the big spots here. Yeah, so
those are big money birthdays too. It's not like it's mine or Cody's or the dog or something like that.
Yeah, it's big money. I already have the birthday shenanigans or festivities planned for Kimberly tomorrow because we're celebrating over the weekend. So it's fun and excitement over here, man. I can't think of anything that's jumping out of my head. My sister did try to wrestle a washing machine and ended up with fractured ribs. So Godspeed to her. A different sister than the one celebrating her birthday, but whatever.
You can have more than one sister. We understand.
I have 3. I'll throw that out there. My favorite part of it, she was bragging at Easter that she had gotten a bruise from the washing machine. So it went down Saturday. Sunday, she was helping her husband put it in. She goes, "Oh my God, I got a bruise," because they lost the grip of the washing machine in the dolly, and it hit her right in the chest. And then yesterday, or was it yesterday, or Tuesday or Wednesday, somewhere in there, she texts and goes, "I got to go to the hospital. I'm short of breath." So now we're all worried because we're thinking, "Oh my God, what's going on? Did
heart attack?
Heart attack? Did a blood clot form? Was it an embolism? What's going on?" She goes, "No, it was fractured ribs. Down 3 weeks. They said she's just got to rest and let it heal up." So obviously that's restricting her airflow a little bit. So she's having fun right now. So great times.
Wolf.
Great times. I'm like, well, at least you're not dying. So that's a good plus. So
yeah,
Godspeed to her and her recovery. But that's where we're at right now. We had a good family Easter at my house and can't complain too much about it. So how about you? How's things with you? Besides getting all your Christmas gifts, robbing me of a title, things of that nature.
Got another tattoo. We won't go there. Got more tattoos. I will tell you this. Remember how I said the logo and maybe I wasn't going to do the leg because I shouldn't because of the things. What are the things called that came out of my guts that
lymph nodes, yeah.
Yeah, well, screw it. You only live once. YOLO, right? So I'm going back to get the leg done soon. That's the next process. The arm's not completely done, but it's about 2 sessions away. So Then we're gonna slide into getting the jumbo shrimp and the howlers and Detroit and maybe whatever, Wally, whatever. All these baseball, football things on my legs. Do you know Banksy? Have you heard the artist Banksy?
Yeah.
It's gonna be in that style, kind of like airbrush or something.
Oh, I like that. I've always been a fan of
kind of like
his
graffiti.
or her style. Yep.
Yeah.
I like that. Nice.
Yeah. That came to mind only because I had to do a report the last time I went to college on Banksy. It was made. You have to do a report on Banksy. I had no clue who this person was. I was old. I've always been older than you guys.
but nobody knows who this person is.
Right. So you kind of do a report on Banksy. This kind of, what would you do like Banksy did? I said, this has always been a thing to get like a tattoo in his style or her style or its style, wherever. Well, I said, fuck it. I'm going to do the whole leg in sports logo style. So that's it. That's coming.
I like that.
Easter was good. We did some up dads, some over at the mother-in-law's. Drank some beers.
Nice.
Fine and dandy. Nothing too over dramatic. This will be tomorrow, or as you guys are listening today, will be the third straight Saturday I will be in Pittsburgh, because one was for some stuff. One was for the paranormal podcast that I do. We did an expo. This one is actually for the blue and gold game. So I'm excited. We're getting to go to that.
Nice.
Afterwards, we're going to meet my cousin Soup and go to Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Nice.
Yeah, so there's going to be a nice little family get-together today. Moving forward, softball has started, baseball has started on local radio, so that takes up time. Yeah, and I'm still trying to play some video games, because that's just where it is. I'm almost waiting for a rain day, and I'm going to get it Monday. I know I am, because it's supposed to...
Yeah, Monday's supposed to get a little shitty, at least Sunday night going into Monday, so...
Yeah, it's going to be damp and cold again.
Yep.
So I'll get a couple rain days this week to do whatever. Then the following Saturday, the 29th, I go to West Virginia to go to jail. The West Virginia penitentiary, where it's haunted. Kind of doing
paranormal
podcast too.
Yeah, that's fair. I was wondering if it had the paranormal aspect to it, and then going from there. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice. Now you're going to go...
Week off on the 29th, and then New Jersey for a wrestling con, and then back to Scranton on the 13th. Oh, and by the way, I'll be at Dynamite this Wednesday.
Oh, you going to Dynamite?
Yeah. So throw another Pittsburgh trip in on top of
all the rest of them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's still drinking. Definitely doing the water. Definitely. Yeah. It's so godforsaken. It's the middle of April, and it was 85 degrees down here today.
It hit 77 up here.
Beta ones was way too hot.
I was surprised you had that on. I would have just went the t-shirt and just held it up, because man, holy fuck.
Get the whole effect.
You do. Fair enough. You do. Turn your back on Sami Zayn and get the whole effect. I get it.
Hey, I love Sami Zayn, but I told you either way I was going to have a ball with this. And when this shit came in, I'm like, well, this is the perfect time to have a ball.
Yeah, you got to have a ball with it. Like, I was half concerned I knew it was at the tattoo parlor, guys. I was half concerned he had like a Mike Tyson face tattoo going on. And I was going to say, man, do we have to have that midlife crisis conversation or what? But it would have been too late at that point. But it would have just been like, oh, man, all right. Embrace it, I guess.
My mother told me I have a face for radio. I didn't even want to make it that much worse by putting a tattoo on. So, yeah, God love you, Mom. My mother said I should have been Mr. America, face for radio. Pish posh. Oh, so of course I'm going to go here, because we're going to get into wrestling talk, and it's going to come hot and heavy, and we're going to come all at you. And we do have some hot topics, but listen, Fight Forever is nowhere near close to done. You knew I was coming with this at some point. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on, and I know I posted the story either the beginning of the last week or the end of the week before or whatever. The developers outright said, will you stop listening to AEW? Stop listening to Kenny Omega. Stop listening to whoever else is saying it. This game is far from fucking done.
I don't understand why you put it out there as a just coming soon, or even advertise it, pre-sale it this early on when you don't even know when it's going to come.
Like I'm really going to say what's coming first, NCAA next July or this?
NCAA. I think that's more realistic right now, because after the developers talk, They're not going to release it this year. If it's far from done, it's not this year. It won't be in March timeframe because that'll be WWE 2K24. So that's out. Spring, summertime.
It's not the best time to release video games.
It's not. I mean, you could try to piggyback and maybe throw it. I'm saying they're going to drop for holiday 2024. NCAA's already got the summer marketed. Madden's got August. NCAA's got July. It's going to be September, October, that holiday season time frame, I feel like, next year. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat crow on that. But I don't think I am, because it's just the way they said it, the way they pretty much announced that it's ready to come.
In the roster, like if they're trying to make it gold now, gold, platinum, this roster is going to be overhauled 6 times by then.
Well, and let's bring up this point. FTR just signed a 4-year deal. They weren't even on the original game plan for it. Right. Now you're going to not include them in it, especially now that this has become their retirement tour of sorts for the next 4 years. Yeah, you guys are going to have to step it up and probably add a lot of your bigger players, probably Hater, probably a lot of people you didn't have on it.
Maybe out of the sport.
Yeah, maybe out.
Back and wants to have a baby.
Yep. So she's gone. And more power to her.
Yeah.
Have your life.
And have a baby. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But, yeah, she's going to be out. The list is never ending of how many people
claim to better be in the goddamn game.
Oh, God. If they're not, you're missing a golden goose on that one.
It's almost better to blow this game up now. Restart and call it Fight Never. Don't even just say this game has been scrapped and we're restarting. Yeah. And it's going to call it AEW Dynamite 2.0 or whatever. I don't care. Just Fight Forever is a living joke now moving forward.
Well, it's developed forever now. That's where it's at right now. It's you're welcome. You said Fight Never. I'm going to say develop forever. But to that point, by the time Bailey's going to agree with this 100%. Yeah. She is upset. She wants to throw things. Your roster is only going to continue to get flipped over with like additions of Sky Blue, your younger talent starting to seep in. In a year's time, we could be seeing Jericho and Danielson move to the way out and more younger talent coming in. It's just the natural progression of things and how things are going to flow. This roster, they're going to end up having to have a Legends section or a Legends DLC where it could be just these Rosa and Danielson and Jericho guys. I'm not predicting they're going.
Right.
Rosa might be, but those two not. But if they are, then this is a prediction, and we're going to count this back for a bold prediction. But anyways, JK. But it's close where you're getting to the point where people are starting to cycle out that older crowd. The newer crowd's taken over, and it's more solidified and more foundation is built upon it. This roster, it's flipping, and it's overturning really big time, and you can't sit on the morals of 2 years back. The other thing I find interesting is, do you remember when they were going to self-develop this for a long period of time?
It was going to be Omega and Aubrey. That was it.
That was it. That's what they were going to do. Now they had to go to a developer to get it done, probably because they hit a stone wall. It was horrible. They hit a stone wall. They couldn't get it past to where it needed to go. And if they want to get it out in a certain time frame, if you're promising it, you got to get it out in the next 5-year period. And with roster changes in that, you need a bigger team to kind of flip it and make those character models in that. I will be interested though, after it's released, you have all of those, and I'll call these people nerds, but they really just go into video games and dig out hidden character files in that. I would be interested to see who digs out hidden character files of people that were added, removed, things of that nature. Long-winded, but
I'd like to be able to do that. I'd like to be one of those nerds too.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
Developing games.
I don't understand that. I didn't understand DOS when I was in 8th grade, let alone what they do now.
The dot matrix printer threw me for a loop every time I saw it print off some god awful looking thing that was out there. And now whatever technology is, I keep up with it as best as I can, but it's only to function in life. That's where I'm at right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
hot topics besides that, because that
wasn't a hot topic.
That was hot because we've been fucking talking about it for 2 years. So Good thing I bought a baseball and golf.
I mean, that's fact. That's fact. Yeah.
So, we're going to get to wrestling, but we have to go here. We were right, Jenks.
Yep.
The fucking day after WrestleMania,
It dropped.
see you later, we're sold.
Mm-hmm.
Never would have thought it was going to be a merger with UFC. Essentially, that's what it is. That's what we're going to call it. That's whatever you want to call it. But
yeah, I agree with that. I thought they were not. I didn't even think they were in the running. If they were, it was like very far behind. I thought it was going to be some independent businesses or Saudis that were going to take it. But very interesting that they ended up with the ball in their court for the amount that Vince wanted, nonetheless, which now has officially sold more expensive than a national football team did 2 weeks later.
Right.
But we can get into that. But that kind of blew my mind a little bit. I mean, I guess it makes sense because if you think of UFC, I know you guys, they're MMA, whatever, real fighters, blah, 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 but they're also a very entertainment heavy company. That's why you see a lot of the characters able to just outshine, and they give them their time to cut their promos and do their things and that. They're very entertainment heavy. So in the world of sports combat, that makes sense. And of course, we got Squeaky McSqueaker Ting going on here.
Weeks ago today.
Oh, and she's good. She's good. She's just hyper.
The world, because I fed her right before we came on.
She's just pumped. But yeah, so it's one of those things where it's now a sports combat entertainment company, whether they want to call it that or not. That's kind of where they're at. And Johnny French Villain is up and running now. Vince McMahon just with whatever the fuck that fucking mustache is. I'm sorry. I cannot get over that fucking mustache. There was one meme I saw of him looking like Walt Disney playing with Mickey and Minnie Mouse. It was hilarious. It's just spot on. But Vince is back on the whole thing. But let's get your things on.
When it's official, and it could not be official for a while. There's I's and T's and U's and W's that need crossed, erased, and all of this. Vince will not be majority.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, will not be involved with creative. So they say. And my bullshit flag has been thrown for 100 yards already.
Yeah.
How is he not going to be? How is he not going to be?
Oh, he already is.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, completely agree. How could he not? This is too easy of a concept now to be like, let me just look over the script. Let me just think, or if I'm in the same city, completely tank whatever you're doing and rewrite every single thing, a la Monday Night Raw after Mania.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
This past week.
Yeah, because he had his little touches. He might have not been there physically, but he still had his little hands touching every single thing that went out the door. But it's going to be rough. I'm really not happy that we're getting.
I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to still think that maybe Trips will have 45% control and Vince will have the other 55%. And we can get some push come to shove. The thing that makes me go, if UFC or whatever, the parent company essentially says, holy shit, Monday night's numbers are looking like trash. And I'm just saying this, pretending for right now, are looking like trash. Who's running Monday night? And everybody turns at the table and points to Frenchie McGee, Vince McMahon. They can say, you're fired. Like, Vince is not protected now, nor are his minions.
Yeah.
So maybe it's, this is what I'm hoping. I don't know. Get this in, get all the I's used, WX's, and whatever he's got crossed and erased and this, that, and the other. Let him run for a little bit so other people can notice what's going on. 6 months to a year, carry on, wayward son. And yes, I just said that on purpose. But,
I think to that point, Mark, I think where we have to look at it is he could still be involved from an executive president, whatever the hell his title is now, but they could strip the creative aspect away from it because, like you said, he doesn't have majority vote. He also doesn't even have 20% vote. They strip that and split that between Stephanie, Trips, and himself, even if Trips and Stephanie are a smaller percentage of that. So he's not even in the majority at the table. It's how many friends can he make on the Endeavor board
right
in the next 6 to 12 months and not get with this trying to transition. He may have one. I don't think he's got enough, especially if they start seeing things that they're like, well, when he touches it, it's okay. But when Triple H touches it, it gets way better. Like, what's going on here? Where's the line? And I think you could see that actually within 3 months. They're going to start playing with the let Triple H handle it. Paul, not have any influence by you. Let Paul run this for a couple months. See what comes out of it. Because if you saw any of the ratings, you saw it go from like there's one score out there that was below 1 for the night after Mania, and then it was at above 7 for the next week. That's a telling difference, and people are going to start knowing that. We're going to see how much influence he tries to put in coming up in the next couple months. I mean, the draft is going to be the biggest indicator of it all. We already saw the one influence. I don't know if it was his influence or if it was the Saudis' influence, but King and Queen of the Ring has now changed the Night of Champions. So I don't know whose influence that played into it, but
that was my next thing to say. You can't take pay-per-view buys into looking into this for the next 2 pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. But Puerto Rico's already sold out.
Yeah.
And from what I'm reading, Roman's not going. Your main event is going to be Bad Bunny and Ray against Dominic and Damian, I think. If not, Cody and Brock.
Yeah. Yep. And then the Bloodline's going to face KO, Sammy, and Riddle. I couldn't think of Riddle's name now that he's back. But yeah.
But, I mean,
Yep. It's not going to be Roman.
For the big pop, though, I mean, I Bad Bunny, right? He's going to wrestle.
He's going to wrestle. I think they're going to be that first match out mentality thing. Because, listen, they pissed off Brock with opening WrestleMania night 2.
Yeah.
So he's not happy about that. So they're going to make him the main event. Him and Cody are going to be the main event just because of that kind of thing. But no, I agree with you.
Then the next one is in Saudi.
Yeah.
Which Night of Champions, which is the first time back in 7 years. I don't know. Like, I'm bummed about that because I've always loved the King of the Ring, and even though Vega was not great, I'm not saying she wasn't great. She just wasn't written great as Queen of the Ring. At least it was there.
It was there, and it was when she won it. It was right before Vince got taken out of power. So we had I think we still have the opportunity. I think the tournament's still going to happen. For some reason, though, they just changed the name of it, which is making me think that I don't know if it was Vince necessarily or it was the Saudis because of their whole politics or their beliefs around women in that you can't have Queen in the ring or Queen in the name. You can have the tournament or the match. And I'm wondering if that played into it where WWE's like, well, we're crowning a king and a queen. We can't just have one or the other be on the marquee. So then let's just change it to Night of Champions type thing. I'm wondering if that played into it a little bit more than Vince's. But to your point, let's go back to your point about the next two pay-per-views for buys. You're right. You're absolutely right. Puerto Rico was sold out. That was already done, sealed, delivered based on what it was. So you can't count that. I don't think you can count the Saudi deal because that's always sold out. People always show up for that. That is just a basic 2-time-a-year pay-per-view that they have over there. So I don't even think you can count that. The next one up was London, which is Money in the Bank. And I don't even know if you can count that because that was starting to sell out, I think, before they even had it. So now we're getting into SummerSlam where the tickets just hit on the sale. So in 4 pay-per-views, that's going to be the telling mark.
Right.
Is your premier event of the summer in Detroit. Tickets just went on sale. That's going to be the focal point because the next 3, Triple H must have known. He's like, I'm going to get a London pay-per-view in there. I'm going to get a Puerto Rico one in there and sell the shit out of it early and often so it doesn't get derailed or withdrawn or pulled. Because that's going to be millions of dollars that they're going to lose if they try to pull those pay-per-views. So they're not going to be able to. But now that I'm just thinking about this, and I know I'm rambling.
No, you're rambling the same thing I was going to say anyway.
Right, but 3 international pay-per-views in a row.
Right.
That's really ballsy, and I think very telling of how Triple H really saw it and how much he believed in his vision for the next 4 to 5 months up until Detroit and SummerSlam.
Yeah, he's got brass balls. I love everything about it. And listen, 2 of the 3, I think, are throwaway pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Like Money in the Bank is now the number 4. We've been saying this for a while, but definitely me and you have been saying this for a while. It's the number 4 because Survivor Series just outright is not even in the top 12 of their pay-per-views, and they have 12 a year. But the Puerto Rico one, it's first time back in 18 years, 31 years. What is it? It's
18.
long.
It's 18, yeah.
So that's gonna go nuts. And it's probably the worst pay-per-view of the year. No disrespect, but I mean, it's called WrestleMania Backlash. You get rematches from WrestleMania 2-3 weeks ago. Normally is how it works. They're putting a different spin on it this year, but it still has that stigma wrapped around. Yeah. I thought maybe Queen of the Ring was going to do something bigger, but it again, like I'm repeating the same thing you said, just a different way, the same way. That's always sold out. The Prince just is like, all of Saudi Arabia's coming, boom, and if you don't go, you get killed. So yeah. I did forget about the England one. I really did. That's over there. So that's one that's telling, but you're right. When we get to Detroit, listen, I looked at tickets. I'm just spend happy recently, and I don't know why. It's like I run the wall.
You bought those WrestleMania tickets, and now you just want to spend. That's all it is.
Right. I thought that drive to Detroit wasn't bad last year when I went. I should buy tickets.
Well, it's only 5-6 hours for you, something like that. Yeah. Because it's 4 for me. Yeah.
But then I remembered, our vacation next year was just booked this past weekend with Grandma and everybody. We're going on a cruise.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Callie's is taken care of. I'm not saying paid all, by the way. But a lot of Callie's is taken care of by mom-in-law. It's her 40th birthday present, Christmas present, da-da-da-da-da. Ethan and I belly up to the bar ourselves. So, yeah. Excited. Go from Baltimore down so we don't have to go far. Baltimore is only a 4-hour trip.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Get on a boat, cruise away, cruise back up, come home. 7 days. You know I don't like water, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What so you're gonna go and just hang out at the bar the whole time and just
freak out?
Yeah. You'll be fine. Don't look at the window. Don't look out the window.
We have a balcony, for the love of God. We don't just have a window. We have a balcony.
I hear it's lovely at night. You can't see a thing. So if that helps.
That's even better. And the 8th floor of the ship.
Jesus Christ, you're 8 floors up? Are you in a penthouse? Where the hell are you on this belt?
I have no pictures to come in January. Yeah.
And when is this? Wait, when is this happening?
January something.
Oh, is it in January? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah. I think January.
I didn't know if January was just preview pictures and then it was like a couple months out or what.
No. January is
we're
3-hour tour. Me and Gilligan. Yeah. Excited, scared.
So it's not the Jericho Cruise.
It's not the Jericho Cruise. Me being the only one that wanted to go on a Jericho Cruise, trying to convince 5 others. I lost real quick.
Oh, I believe that.
So
I believe that wholeheartedly.
it's somewhere in the Bahamas and Turk and Caicos and all of that. Off the boat? Probably not.
I was going to say, because that's the other thing you got to worry about for cruises. They will leave you there if you're not back on that boat at the specified time. If I ever get talked into going on a cruise, I'm not leaving the goddamn boat.
I'm not leaving the boat. Kelly saw at one of the stops, and Jesus Lord, I don't know. We'll hear about this for the next 8 months. You can swim with pigs for $250.
First of all,
right?
Since when can a fucking pig swim?
Right.
Second, why would you do that?
Right. Yep. You want to talk wrestling? Let's talk wrestling.
I don't know. I kind of want to find out more about this pig swimming that's going on, or what the fuck's.
Yeah, I'll send you all the links. Maybe you and Kimberly can come with.
No, that's all right.
You'll be on like the 10th floor.
We're going at some point this year to a weekend trip around here. We're not going to. We may go to Put-in Bay or
Lancaster.
That's a good place. See, we're debating.
In the Cartoon Network hotel.
That's right. That is right. So we got to figure out where we still want to go. I think we're going to nail that out this weekend. I have a couple places because she mentioned a beach she wanted to go to, but I'll throw in Lancaster just see if we can get Cartoon Network hotel.
And if you go later, I think they start in June. You can go to a Barnstormers game.
That's not a bad idea.
That's when we're going.
Well, she's going to be out of town. She's leaving July 1st through the 8th with her family because they're doing a family vacation down in Ocean City. So they're leaving. They're going bye-bye. So we have to figure out the timing, when she wants to go, things of that nature. So that's what we're playing with this weekend during the birthday celebration. We'll figure it out. Woo!
All right, quick and easy. Because we gotta get to shit.
We got a lot of shit.
Follow us on social medias. It's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All of it's at CanCrusher69. We have a promo code for Collar and Elbow. It's Can Crushers. All one word, capital C and Can, capital C and Crushers. You save 10% on all the shit that you buy. All right? Easy and breezy. CanCrushers69@gmail.com if you want to be on the show, if you want to be on a spotlight, if you want to, like the dude was just on, that was pretty cool, or anybody else from High Ground Pro Wrestling, because they're coming on in mass forces here because I'm the voice of High Ground Pro Wrestling. You wouldn't tell because, by the way, May 13th is their next show in Mayfield. What else do we have?
You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I think this is my stick now. Any of the podcast platforms that you want to listen to them. Maybe at some point we'll be in a tin can and a string type podcast.
I would love that. We'll just send everybody a tin can and a piece of string, and if we can tie it together across America, imagine what we could do.
You thought Can Crushers was something before. Wait till you see this physical network get laid down. It'll be beautiful.
We'll be back to talk about a shit ton of wrestling in no rhyme or reason.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey, this is the dude. If you don't listen to Can Crushers, I think you got into some of my gummies.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Can Crushers. Yeah, we are really excited to get into this as Supercard Stand and Deliver WrestleMania, the last 2 weeks of AEW, last 2 weeks of Raw and SmackDown. Stand and Deliver. I mean, Supercard. See, yeah.
You almost had it. You almost
I
had
almost
it.
had it. I'm all over the place. It's yeah. So we're not going to go deep, super dive because that would be like an 8-hour episode.
Yeah.
But we will cover each match, and I want to know right off the top, Jenks, what did you think overall of Supercard?
I like Supercard a lot. There was a lot of great matches. Obviously, the ladder match was great. El Hijo de Vikingo. Oh my God, it's been 2 weeks. I can't even pronounce his name anymore. And Commander.
The son of the Viking.
The son of the Viking lived up to their hype a little bit there. They were going back and forth on it. I thought overall it was good. There was ups and downs, ebbs and flows like usual, but I think overall it was a good match card. It was very good. What did you think of it?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what I was going to get into. Listen, I know ROH. We know ROH. I wasn't sure how much they were going to showcase or give us, essentially, since it was WrestleMania weekend. And this was an appetizer, but was everybody going to buy the appetizer when they were either at WrestleMania doing a million other indie stuff, or shit, we know we have 16 hours of WrestleMania coming up and Stand and Deliver.
Sure.
Can I squeeze in one more in my life? Is it worth the $40?
Yeah.
So I think overall they gave us for us, the diehard wrestlers, they gave us just enough to say that was a good show. I could see ROH doing this, and this. But for the casuals that just maybe, and I know you can't bounce in and out of a pay-per-view like this, but still, bounce in and out of at least like spots or, clips online, there was enough to grab them and say, oh, what, ROH is legit back, and what are they doing?
Yep. I would agree with that. And especially around the casuals, they provided enough high visibility clips that could go on. I said the ladder match, I said the Vikingo match. Those two in particular, people are going to talk about those going into WrestleMania if they're going into SoFi. There's going to be that conversation for the casual fan saying, you see Ring of Honor? Did you see that crazy shit they were doing? Even if it was right, wrong, or indifferent, even if it was bad talking, Ring of Honor, it's putting it out there. It's talking about it. It's marketing it. Anything. Any marketing is good marketing in the landscape of things. So you're looking at it here. It did its job. Now, will I say it made me go out and buy Honor Club? Absolutely not.
No.
But I was not disappointed spending $40 to buy the pay-per-view and watch it. I thought it was a good show and it delivered what it needed to.
Exactly. I'm still not ready to pull the trigger on the Honor Club. Listen, I know we get everything from the past. We get old Adam Cole. We get this, we get that. We get old Danielson. I know, but I just am not ready to say I am really fully supporting where we're at yet. And that's, I think, the you're punching and saying, yes, I'm a fan of ROH right now.
And I think to that point, Honor Club, this first initial rollout in these first few months of Honor Club is really geared towards the nostalgic fans of it. Back in the 2000s when they were really super involved in Honor, in those old clips, in that old library, that's who it's for right now. The fans that came into it in the late 2010s or still haven't really adapted to it, myself included, because, I've only seen clips and things of ROH. I haven't really been fully in the lore of it. It's now what's going to be the thing that puts me over the top? What is going to be the one thing that I can say is, damn it, now I want to go get it? And it's just not happening there. And I think it's because it's in its infancy. It's not anything against ROH. It's because it's in its infancy right now. It's getting, we get into...
Because there's no free TV yet for it.
There's no free TV that you can sit down and say, okay, I'll watch this. It's wrestling. Let me just put it on and watch it. If it's not on TV for free, you're not going to invest in it.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's essentially where it's at. If it's on whatever channel, PBS or whatever channel. Hey, it's going to be on Friday nights at this time. Okay, at least I have the chance to DVR it like I do all other wrestlings. Once you're saying a weekly show, and this is where NWA lost me as well. You know, once they went from off of YouTube to Fight, hey, our weekly show, you're going to have to pay for. I don't have to pay for weekly, and this is going to sound like I'm a prude or whatever. I don't have to pay for a weekly show because I can find indies to watch. They could be my weekly show off of this, which are free, or off of this, which are free. Once you say weekly show to get the storylines and everything, and people are like, you pay for cable, you pay for it. No fucking shit. That's the whole service in my house. I understand that. But now you're adding a premium to something that's not a premium yet.
Right.
When it gets there, we'll have a different conversation. But it's not premium yet.
Yeah, in my opinion, there's only been one thing that has ever been successful enough to create the buzz it needed to draw people in, and it's because people wanted to see the library first, and then it brought into it. NXT was in this realm of where ROH now is, and NWA wants to be, or where these guys want to be. NXT started out being the developmental brand. It still is right now, but its goal, all of a sudden, it started producing takeovers where every match was just blowing your mind, and you're like, oh my god, they have Finn Balor.
That followed it.
Exactly. And then it's like, oh my god, here's Finn Balor. Oh my god, here's Samoa fucking Joe. Here's Kevin Owens. These guys start coming into this and start bleeding into this, and they're like, wait a minute, we got to see this. We have to look into this. Drew McIntyre, who was an old WWE guy back in the day, he left, comes back, built like a shit brick house, fucking tearing through people. Holy shit, I remember Drew McIntyre. I need to go see what he's doing on NXT. You get Charlotte's, you get the Mercedes now, you get the Four Horsewomen. The talent was so plentiful, and it's showing so much on the main roster now, but it drew people to say, I definitely need the fucking network for $9.99 a month, because that's premium content I want to see on a weekly basis, because they didn't have a bad week. And especially when you're throwing in the Revival, and I'll call FTR the Revival at this point, Revival versus Gargano and Ciampa, or Alpha Academy versus the Revival. 2 out of 3 falls, I remember that being distinctly on NXT, the weekly show.
When the War Raiders were awesome.
When the War Raiders,
Undisputed Era.
Yeah, Undisputed Era running brick shops.
Keith Lee. I mean,
Keith Lee chucking Adam Cole halfway through the crowd instead of Adam Cole being his manager now this week, like he was supposed to be in WWE. But whatever.
Old man Keith Lee now.
Old man Keith Lee. But that's exactly it. It was fun. It was excitement. It was big meaty men slapping meat, but it was also guys that could tell a great story in the ring and super talented.
That's the point. They told a great story in the ring.
Exactly. And you wanted to see that every week. Even if it was going to be a blatantly obvious Baron Corbin squash match, it was still something you wanted to watch, no matter what. But NXT was the only one that has done that, and what you're seeing now is the market is really bringing out, and I can't believe we went on a rant about this, but it's bringing out, I don't want to say copycats, but they're copycats right now without the talent. The talent, there's good talent in these organizations, don't get me wrong, but it's not past the level yet because it's still building itself up. Once it builds that brand to be where it needs to be, then shit's going to be hitting it. And I think ROH is going to boom it without doubt. It's going to take a couple 6 months or so, but they're going to get there. NXT took 3 years, 4 years, and that was even when Seth Rollins was already gone. Roman was out, Dean was out. They were already gone, and then they started getting traction, started getting going. So it's going to take a few years for them to get really off going in the right direction. So we'll have to see. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see, though.
And that's not saying, oh my God, we really are in a tangent.
We
this
just went to
an 8-hour show. And this isn't saying that there might not be fluctuations of free agents sliding in because they're really sick of their contract in the WWE.
That's true. There's a lot of people now, and it's the contract they're not happy with, or
the writer,
who the writer is. Things are, when morale tanks, we're going to be jumping back and we're going to be like, well, this is going to be it. Bye. Fuck you. See you later. Hello, Ring of Honor. Hello, NWA. Yeah, bye, Felicia. Hello, NWA. Hello, Impact. There's going to be that sort of thing going through. So.
All right. So Commander Vikingo, amazing. 675, 630, 690, whatever fucking flashes that he does.
1,080, 180, 110 to 80, whatever.
He was all over the TV WrestleMania weekend. On everything that I turned on, Vikingo was there. So perfect use of him, I think, because they got him first and everybody's like, we need to see him more. We need to see him more.
Yeah.
So, great match. I loved it. Why were we wrong? The Embassy against Fox, Christian, and Grand Metalik. We expected everything to go wrong with this match, and Brian Cage not to be there anymore. Brian Cage is now fucking showcased in one of a kind of big storyline.
Yeah, big storyline. He's re-signed. I mean, we thought
still champion.
And still champion. And we sat there and we thought, well, this is an odd fucking trio to put up against the Embassy and take titles off of them. But I guess they have to get them off of them with somebody. And when they got pretty much obliterated, it was like, well, that's okay. That makes sense now. And now in hindsight, okay, Brian Cage is advertised. Brian Cage is out there. We have the Mogul Embassy now. Things are rocking for Brian Cage and that team. So now the question becomes, how long's the Embassy going to be running Rickshaw? Because they're not a joke. They're a bunch of powerhouses that are running through people. So that's going to be very interesting to see how long they go for. And I'm here for it.
I am too. Side note, I got my Embassy autograph picture about 3 weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Fantastic. I'll show you something later. The women's match, Athena against Yuka. Athena, the innovator of violence. I mean, she kind of is. I know that's stolen from Tommy.
Right.
I believe Nigel said it. But Athena has really, really, that's not Ember Moon anymore.
No. It's past. It's long past. For a while,
I was like, this is still Ember Moon. I don't know if I'm there. She's amazing. I've always liked her work. But the character was lost in transition here or there. Not anymore. She's a bitch. She's there to keep this title and take over. She's somebody I don't know that's going to lose it for a while. Unless my cousin comes back and they have a feud, because my cousin was hurt when she lost it to her. I don't know.
I mean, that possibility is always there, but you're right. Ember Moon's running on all cylinders. I'm sorry. Athena's running on all cylinders now. So there you go. Count it. Hopefully Mark says Cesaro later on. But anyways, she's running on all cylinders. This was a great match. It told the story it needed to tell. It pushed it kind of gave you the sense of, I think it was more of a Athena showcase match than it was an actual title fight type thing, but still pretty good outing. And Athena's finally, to your point, I'm not going to belabor the point, she's in her own. She's going on her own.
The O face off the top rope was
phenomenal.
Scary. Was phenomenal, but
it was phenomenal, but scary as shit. Yeah, I would agree with that. Do it if you're gonna make. I think they went out and they wanted to make everybody give an O face when they hit that O face, so that's why they went for it all.
Love that name, by the way.
It's a great name.
ROH TV title. Listen, I'm that dick.
You called it.
I told you. I'm happy for it. Good.
Listen, when this went down, I should have known that I was in Doom. The title was in Doom for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Because you were basically casting aside and saying, listen, not everything is all sunshine and rainbows, and this was one of them. I would have thought, give it to Mark, let him run, get him 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, have Joe take it back. But hell, this was a good back and forth match between Joe and Mark.
I agree. Match itself. But keep this going like he's never beat him. Let's go again. Now he can win it. Now I'm okay that I'm that guy. Now he can win it and he can have a nice little run. Give Joe his break. Joe do whatever he wants to. But yeah, because he was still on the up. He's got to come down at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to come down when we're still thinking of Jay, and I think, than holy shit, why is Mark Briscoe still getting all these wins? Oh, that's right, his brother died last year.
Yeah.
And then, a year later he's still on this high. Oh shit, now what do we do with him?
Right. Well, that thought just left my brain. Anyways, yeah, I lost it. Don't worry, just come back. It's fine. I would agree with that. I agree with everything you said, but I had a different point to make, but it's gone, so I'm not even going to worry about it now.
We'll find it.
You'll find it in a junk pile somewhere.
Tanahashi and Garcia. The You're a Wrestler chants got me. I love that. Brought up Shinsuke. I love that they brought up Shinsuke. Both working the knees, I wrote, and of course, like Tanahashi with the win. We knew.
There was no way. Garcia's not in a position now to be fed wins against legends to kind of catapult his career, because he's still playing now second, third fiddle to Chris Jericho for a while. And I don't know when that's going to blow up, but it was a fantastic display. It was a technical. I loved watching this. I love these technical submission type. Let's work the knee. Let's wear you down. How can we beat you? I think they did an excellent job on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tag team ladder match. Listen.
Oh, Dante.
Yeah.
Best wishes.
Which one was it? Dante or
it was a Dante. Darius is still wrestling.
Darius. But yeah, all right.
Yeah, Dante. God bless you. Hope you fast recovery
in a year.
See you in a year. That was Joe Theismann, Alex Smith looking ass backwards thing, but
it started with Taven's eye. Like Taven's eye was gross. This kudos to everybody involved. You guys really brought it. Thank you. You literally put your bodies on the line. We're not shitting on this match, but there's a time that it's a little bit too much. I'm going to be that guy. That spot didn't need to happen from the ladder through 75 fucking table. There was no good ending possible in that spot.
No, because where else is he going to go? He's not, and it was a Canadian destroyer nonetheless. Where's he going to go? It's either he's going to flop onto. He didn't have a table to flop onto. It was literally you're going straight to the ground.
Yeah.
And your momentum's going to take you in some sort of way.
Or you randomly, which I think would have been better, off the ladders into the ring, and then it just looks stupid. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't.
So this match, again, the ladder match itself was built for the visual effects of it, and for the casual fans to go, holy shit, did you see what happened in that ladder match? However, I think a lot of people are walking away with this with a different visual than they wanted to, because when you
saw a young man's career possibly
end. Exactly. And it was right in front of the camera. It was dead in front of the camera, and you knew what was going on as soon as he grabbed the leg.
It was inside out, upside down, and sideways.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The wrong visual is being taken away from this match. It was a stupid, crazy move. I get what they were trying to do, but you cannot do that. And this is just tone it back a little bit. Like Vikingo goes off in his matches, I get it, but he's just doing showcase matches right now. It's literally the same 5 moves, and I'm not calling him John Cena, don't get me wrong. I know he's a good wrestler in that. But while he's in America, he's doing 5 moves that everybody recognizes him for, and he's just showcasing them in these things. As he's more ingrained with the audience, people are going to know him. There are 5-6 teams in this ladder match that everybody knows about and knows who they are. They don't need to do crazy stupid shit unless they absolutely feel they need to, and again, they feel like they needed to, but
didn't.
There's sometimes where that risk is way too high and we can't take it. We have to think about things beforehand. And I would have thought going to the outside off of ladders or through tables for the Lucha Bros would still be fresh in the memory from last year. Mm-hmm. Let's be smart about this. And unfortunately, we can't be right now. So it was what it was. It was Spot Fest.
Top Flight has not been lucky. It has been Darius twice, now Dante. Like, every time, because Darius just came back, 2-3 weeks ago? About roughly maybe a month? Maybe
he had a minor injury for a little bit there. And they can't, we keep talking about Top Flight not being contenders in our minds because they're just not there yet. They can't get there because their momentum keeps getting stalled.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say, I think they're doing a little too much to get themselves recognized. Guys, we recognize the talent. We see you flying. Just keep it safe.
Be the Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, be the Malkies for a little bit and just do some moves to get some wins. This, maybe no career. I don't know. Congratulations to the Luchas. Briscoes come out, FTR comes out, kind of steal the show. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Pure title, Yuta and Shibata. Whoa.
What happened? Like,
we both said Yuta. We
both did.
But
I thought Shibata was going to take this title. Because I texted you.
He signed that night.
He has to be signed.
Wait, what?
Yeah. He had to sign because we were just sitting there like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love that he's the pure champion now. But holy fuck, that you want to talk about a surprise?
And it was all Shibata.
It was. He dominated the fucking match. Yuta had no shot.
No.
Now, I want this to become a redemption arc type story, but it's going to be in the BCC way where they probably just slap the shit out of Yuta around. Be like, you got to toughen up. You got to do your shit. Get your shit, be more crisp and things of that nature. We're going to build this up to, I think, July is probably the next pay-per-view for ROH. So is that Death Before Dishonor? What was it?
So.
Yeah. So Death Before Dishonor, we're coming up due. And this rematch for the pure title, I'm assuming it's going to be a rematch in July.
I want it to be 60 minutes. I want it because this was quick. This was so quick and ass beating, but you just sat there in awe going, this is amazing. Yuta, I feel sorry for you. I love you. But he is just working your ass over.
And he is taking you to school, and you look like a little child just getting beat up in that ring. Like he's like a fresh out of school 18-year-old that just started in the business. You're getting worked over by Shibata. That's what it looked like, and it was beautifully done.
Main event was Claudio against Kingston. A battle for a brief moment, and I'm saying the briefest, like a sneeze.
Yeah.
Thought they were going to give it to Eddie because of what Claudio is involved with. I thought this is a great way. Again, I'm still looking for that heavyweight champion to carry in the era of ROH. We thought it was going to be Jericho because it made sense to us because it's a bigger name. I don't think it's Claudio. No disrespect. I love him, but he's got too many other things going on. So I thought maybe it's going to be Eddie. Maybe it's going to be a transition. You know, you get Eddie, all us, indie guys are going to be happy. And then, boom, somebody else comes and takes it, and that's going to be your guy to run with. It didn't happen. I thought it was kind of a weird ending. Bailey's pissed off, so I'm glad she agrees with me. I don't know.
Well, it came out this week that Eddie's got a hernia and he has to have surgery for it. So that's probably, I think they were building up for Eddie Kingston to win this match until the hernia situation came out. Now, who's left for Claudio, though? Who's going to be that one guy to strike him down? I don't know. And I kind of agree with you. Claudio's not really sparking the holy shit. Let me see Claudio week in and week out. Listen, guys, I've been an advocate for Claudio to get a world title for many years now, but he's not jumping off the page at me. And maybe it's because I'm seeing him too often in 500 other things on AEW Dynamite, to Mark's point, doing all of this shit it's like, oh, he's world champion. It's almost an afterthought type deal. It's not. Claudio Castagnoli is in these situations as a world champion. He's a lackey for Moxley. And I think that's doing a bigger disservice to the title than anything. It was a great match, but again, Claudio can have a good match with a broomstick or anything of that nature. It's just, how do you make yourself a bigger character when you're relegated to a secondary role in a group? You're not a world champion, and that's kind of, I think that might be my thing with ROH right now is your world champion's treated as a second fiddle.
Yeah.
And it's, how am I supposed to believe he's the world champion? And how am I supposed to believe that world championship is bigger than what it actually is? How do I believe that? And I can't right now.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So if there was one match I would poo-poo to get a casual fan to get ROH, it was probably this one. It really was. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But overall, it did what it needed to do. It gave us, to get ready for Mania. Saturday Mania comes and it's stand and deliver now, right?
It is stand and deliver at 1:00.
And I was tired, so I kind of dozed in and out during this. So I have random notes, but I did watch even the beginning, like Chase U beat Schism.
Yeah.
I just put that because, listen, she will always be Nikita Knight to me, Thea Hall.
Yeah.
She'll always be Nikita Knight because she's on my arm is Nikita Knight.
I was kind of surprised they didn't just give Schism the win, because I feel like you would have, and maybe this is because I don't watch NXT all the time yet. But to me, I'm like, you're pushing this faction.
Right.
They seem to be, now, hindsight, there's been things coming out because grizzled young vets are on their way out. So I think that's playing into it a little bit here, but I would have thought a little bit more, give Schism a little bit more of a push, but I guess they're not at that level yet for where we're at. But I don't know.
The women's ladder match, get ready. My match of the pay-per-view of this pay-per-view.
I thought you were gonna say weekend. I was gonna say, okay, let's hear that. But
no, the match of the pay-per-view. I thought it was great. All of them just fucking. And a lot of them guys brought it a year after as well. They brought it, but there was so much involved in this. JC Jane came back to screw over Gigi, which is good because at one point I thought they're going to give it to Gigi and then JC Jane is going to come. Nope, they did it in the match. Loved it.
When was the last time we've seen that? Because a lot of times now WWE's been waiting till after the match for that interjection to happen, and now that was a perfect in-match cost of the ladder match. Loved it.
And JC, I know she didn't do much with her gimmick, but something just clicked it. She's a see you next Tuesday. Like, that word came out, and I'm like, whoa. Not that they said it. I said it in my brain. And I'm like, yes, JC Jane. I still love Gigi. The whole, what the hell's her name? Indy Scared of Heights. And Loomis had came back, which then, right after the match, led to the reunion of The Way. Listen, I love Johnny Gargano. I don't love Johnny Gargano in the main roster. I think Johnny is an NXT through and through. He could never fight for a championship again. He could be the Randy Orton of NXT. He makes more sense down there. Candice too. Why does The Way need to come up? Like, they could just run NXT for a while, and I understand maybe they wanted to, or maybe they give it a shot and but they're just, that whole group to me is like Undisputed Era.
It's special.
It's
NXT special, because there's those groups that were in NXT that were NXT special, like Ciampa and Gargano. They're NXT special. FTR was NXT special when it was in NXT, not in SmackDown and Raw. But I think we're still in here's the thing. We're in that infancy period with Triple H's regime still. It's still we're still only 8 months into this.
Right.
Yes, Vince is back and all that. But I think it was a long-term plan with Johnny Gargano to start ushering in this new talent. And the draft, I think, is going to help kind of push people into things. He just had an awkward storyline with The Miz to begin with. And it did not help his cause whatsoever. So I think that's kind of what restricted him here. I'm still surprised they didn't give it back to Roxanne Perez, but I like that. Too. I also was really happy they didn't. Not because Indy won. I did love Indy winning, but it kept it away from that tired trope of, oh, she's fine. She's good now. Let's just give her back the title because she's healed and it's all good now. Yep. We got away from that. Indy, it's a heartfelt. Indy's been NXT for what, 3, 4, 5 years now. It was perfect timing for that. She'll probably lose it at the next takeover, I feel like.
Yeah,
but it was a nice, heartfelt moment. We got the tearful reuniting. Candice crying got me. It was like whatever. It's heartfelt. It really Hartwell made me heartfelt in this whole win with it all. So A+ to the women on that. They knocked it out of the park.
And I think that's why the story was there for me. Like I was invested in this story.
Yep.
The tag titles: Creed Brothers against Tony and Channing versus Gallus. The double fucking doomsday to the outside. Like I said, I took minimal notes on this NXT thing, and we're gonna skyrocket through it. Gallus retains, but the double doomsday to the outside blew my mind. What are they doing? After what I saw the night before, I'm like, didn't you guys just watch Supercard? No, did they or didn't they? I don't know, but death and dismemberment could have happened there like that.
Oh yeah, because that's a dangerous move to begin with, because you're just going flying fuck you backwards, and you don't know where the fuck you're gonna land. Like on the concrete, on the padding,
but the ancient padding.
But I think to that point, they understood who they were on, they trusted who they were with, and they weren't doing something stupid like flipping and getting dropped on their heads. Like somebody wasn't gonna sit there and just hold them up and then drop them as I punched myself in the face. That kind of threw off, I think. But it was a dangerous move. It was a dangerous spot. They hit it. It was good. Nobody got injured. Thank fucking Lord. But I had the same thought you were. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, don't do this. This is not worth it. This is not worth it. But
the North American Open Challenge, Wesley Challenge thing. Listen, this is the one I was like, I knew as soon as Wesley said it and he picked everybody, he wasn't going to lose. Like this was his showcase match. Great match, but there wasn't enough oomph in the story because he just picked his all-stars.
The suspense was gone. It was like, how do we invest in ourselves even though we know Wesley's going to win this, right? Now, I'm going to say I'm thinking Dragon Lee is going to take this title off of him at some point, because I think that's just too obvious of them not to do it. And it might be at the next NXT pay-per-view. So we got the showcase match. We got a lot of guys in here. Fantastic. Now next up, in one Power Ranger. I cannot get over Axum being looking like a fucking Power Ranger. I can't do this. But we're going to get to see Dragon Lee, Wesley. The Battle of the Lees is going to be the showcase match, I think, the next time. And it's going to steal the show because now it's a legitimate threat. It's not like just 5 guys I'm bros with or that I like. We can do 5 guys. Oh, that's good burger joint. But bring it back. Mark was losing his mind. That's why I brought it up. I'm not that fat, guys. But we're bringing it.
It's a good place in DuBois, Pennsylvania, by the way.
Never had that. Never had fat guys. So, but anyways, it was a solid match. It did what it needed to do to showcase everybody involved in it. But you're right. There's just no threat there. It just never came up.
Gargano and Waller is actually where the way reunion happened. We're both idiots because I don't know if you're looking at my notes of sleepy time, but
listen. At this, I saw the clip of Candice and Indian backstage afterwards. That's what got me. So I was like,
whatever. Yeah. I got the garbage can lid to the face, and this was the weekend that Hellfire and Brimstone was blowing over everything. So I lost like 25 minutes of this match. I know it was only like a 26-minute match. I don't know. So I don't know the whole match. I saw the garbage can lid to the face, which was not blocked. A legit fucking garbage can lid to the face. That hurts, by the way.
It does? I
can pull off my fake tooth and show you why it hurts.
Okay, Mick Foley, calm down over there.
Yeah. So, yeah, Gargano wins. This is where the reunion happens. Great match. I went back and watched some of it, but yeah, this one I was definitely in and out for because of power and other things.
No, that's fair. I mean, it was a great match. I'm surprised Waller's taking all these losses. Like, he just turned into this heel guy that's now, I'm going to just take losses. I'm just here to kind of put over talent and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I was really expecting Waller to beat Gargano in this, but everything that happened, it is what it is. But we got the heartfelt moment afterwards, and I think that was going to be
I think it's setting Waller up for something after the rematch of the main event.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're going to get something there. But the women's tag team title match, Fire and Dawn, Alba and Isla become champions. It did what it needed to do. I hate to say it like that, but it wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was there.
It was what it was. And yeah, I got nothing. I didn't really have any notes on that one. So
Braun and Mello, first of all, they stood and the crowd was going apeshit bananas. Like they really liked it. Braun, listen, he lost. All right. When he shook his hand, I thought, well, he's going to Raw. He's going to Raw Monday night. Let's fast forward. He comes back and he beats the shit out of Mello 2 weeks later. Now he's a fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to be around long. I think he gets a rematch on TV or something. I don't know if it's going to be a pay-per-view rematch because I really think something's going to happen with Waller. And this is where my mind twisted. Like, he's taking losses so we don't think he is a competitor for Mello. It's a whole Money in the Bank type of situation. Everybody loses before Money in the Bank. Everybody loses once you get the briefcase, unless you're a woman who has to cash it in that night. But you lose for months while you're having the briefcase. Jinder Mahal, okay? Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's a great point. I also want to bring up, I think Waller just won number one contendership too for the title. I don't know when that's going to take place, but I like your point. Braun's getting drafted. That's the key. So you're probably right in saying in the next 2 weeks here, we're going to see Braun get that rematch, get it taken, and then probably
he's going to get screwed out of it.
Oh, Trick Williams is going to screw him out of it. That's how that's going to break down. Or Chase U, because he completely obliterated Chase U this past week. So one of these two guys, somehow he's going to get his comeuppance. He's going to go to Raw, SmackDown, wherever he's going to go, and then he's going to start his build up. But we called it. Carmelo, it's Melo's time. So yeah. I'm happy. I'm excited to see that. I want to see how this goes. I don't want them to flip the title right away.
I don't either. Waller, I love Waller, in fact.
Yeah.
But Melo needs his time.
He needs to run with this unless they really are thinking Melo's already
drafted right off the bat too.
If he gets drafted right off the bat, then maybe that's going to be okay. It is what it is at this point, and Grayson's going to be the guy standing there like, oh, I'm number one contender, so I should be the champion, and then somebody will face him, and then there'll be a hole.
Melo gets drafted. That's your U.S. champion, and that pushes Austin Theory into the main event level. Not that he's not in the main event level, but I'm just saying he's done enough with this U.S. title. Melo, you can give that quick comeuppance of, okay, he was our NXT champion. Oh, he had to lose because he got drafted. Let's see what he does up on the main roster, a la Kevin Owens real quick, or somebody like that. People get behind him. You fucking have him lose it. You have to make him build it back up. We've seen this story. You build him back up, and then he just is ready to take over the U.S. Championship for a long time. Or IC. I don't think he's going to be the one that defeats Gunther, but I think him in theory, if he would get drafted, would be a good. And listen, which means then Montez, where does he? I see. There's so many pieces.
See, Montez, I think, is in the prime position to at least be at the back of the line for U.S. or IC title. Now we're predicting draft, but draft, Street Profits get split.
Right.
And then that's where you see Montez be like, okay, here comes my meteor. He might not touch or sniff a title until Mania next year and be in that situation, which is fine. But if we back it off to Melo, you're right. Vacate the title. Melo right now is at the top of the game, top of the mountain in NXT, but I think he's also surpassed the mountain and is already starting to climb the main roster because he's just so talented. So
it's almost like he's been held. I don't want to say he's been held down or anything like that. He is too big for NXT.
Yeah. It's a lack of space at top.
Yeah.
There's too many players up top to make a move up top. So he's got to be relegated to, this is where I am. It is what it is. This is what shit I'm dealing with right now. That's kind of where he's at right now. So he's going to surpass that at some point. I don't think they're going to gut NXT, but I think they're going to take their two main guys that are ready for main roster and say, bon voyage, see you later, run rickshaw.
Yeah, and one's going one and one's going the other. They will not cross paths.
They're not going to cross paths for another year or so, or maybe Survivor Series when they bring everything back together. But who knows?
That matters anymore. Oof. All right. We're gonna take a minute. We're gonna decompress. We're gonna come back. We're gonna rip through WrestleMania, and then honestly, guys, listen. We'll touch on AEW after WrestleMania, but it's really going to be hot stories with AEW because Jeff Hardy's back. Okay. They've been lackluster since WrestleMania, in my book.
Yeah, they showed up 1 week just to make a point. I think they showed up to show up. I keep saying show up. They were showing up Raw last week because Raw was just abysmal. So they're like, you know what? Let's put on a fucking show and throw people for a loop. Fantastic. But this week we got back to the realm of, okay, we're here.
That's what I'm scared of going to Wednesday. But all right,
Yep.
we have WrestleMania to talk about. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back here in a minute.
This is Julia Lynn, a.k.a. The Dime Piece, and you are listening to the best podcast ever, the Can Crushers Podcast.
Ooh, welcome back, everybody. You are the ones with Mark. I'm the two after what happened at WrestleMania. So a bunch of bullpucky shit going on there, but whatever. Welcome back. Segment 3, WrestleMania. Are we ready for this?
We are, because let me tell you right here, right now, I loved this WrestleMania. I'm going to spoil it right off the get. I will get around to all the matches. We'll spend a little bit more time on this. And again, like, whatever. If this takes an hour, it takes an hour. Family will be sitting outside. But I loved this fucking WrestleMania. From Cena and the kids to what happened afterwards. Ready? To Brock and Almost actually telling a story.
I know, that was surprising.
And I got my championship back. That was actually really the bottom of the barrel thing. Like, I wasn't worried. I told you, if I lost because of Ray, because of Edge, and because of Roman, that's because I lost. You lost because of Dom and The Fiend.
You swept me. On those three we missed, we differed on. You swept me on them. I loved WrestleMania. I loved night 1 more than night 2. And it wasn't because of the title thing at the end. It was, I thought night 1 was just hitting on all cylinders. Night 2 had some hiccups here and there, but night 1 was really going for it. But man, and I'm going to say this now before we even get to the match. The Demon's dead. There's nothing.
He's got to be.
He's done. Don't even bring him back now.
Why would you?
He's nothing. He's nothing special now. He's lost all credibility in my mind. So, anyways, we're not there yet, but
No.
yeah.
Cena in Theory. Again, notes are going to be random. Awesome Make-A-Wish moment.
I love that.
The instant dad moment.
I got a little teary-eyed because I thought it was beautifully done. Now, let's go full context here. Let's also take this back a minute. I didn't have Power WrestleMania night, so I did not see any of this live.
Right.
I had to wait till I got home the next day. I was at the Ghost Friends.
I couldn't talk to anybody about this.
You couldn't. We were so, like, girlfriend was ready to go. She was on this, and I'm like, everything I watched on night one, because I had an 8-hour marathon of WrestleMania, guys. Everything I watched on night one, I'm like, oh, she would have fucking loved that. Oh, God damn it, she would have loved that. She would have saw me fucking lose shit over this. And it was like, fuck. We lost Power for 12 hours. It did not come back till 1:30 in the morning.
Night one and the heartfelt stuff.
The heartfelt, the stories, everything was beautifully told on night one. It was miraculous. It was well done. So anyways, I cried when I saw the Make-A-Wish kids because I thought that was really beautiful. I love that he did that. I thought that was pretty amazing.
Yeah. And then there's one, you guys know the story, but screw it, I'll just say it.
Yeah.
The girl that Bianca danced with, her mother died. I'm getting chills right now. She's like, no, I'm going to WrestleMania because essentially mom wanted to do this.
Yeah. And she showed off. It was so amazing.
I hope, and I don't need to know, but I hope the WWE just said, we're taking care of everything. We love you, little girl, and go. So
I agree with that.
Cena in Theory match, though. Holy shit. It started with a banger, and I mean, not a physical banger, but it was enough of a match / moment, because we've called Cena stuff moments for a while.
Yeah.
It did exactly. We were like, if Theory beats an old man Cena, what's he going to do? The fucking nut shot sealed the deal for me.
Yeah. It's amazing how the nut shot, when it's used right, it's the most effective storytelling piece of it all.
Yep.
Right? And it was used right here. It was beautiful. He was cheating the whole time. Biting, just fucking, the whole thing about Theory was just fucking out there on the
Ruthless aggression.
Ruthless aggression, street fight, brawl type mentality. Cena's there just going, he ain't going to be able to touch me, and he got caught. And that's what it was. I thought this was better than I thought it was going to be, because I didn't know if Cena would lose a step. A lot of travel, a lot of things going on in Cena's world. Not a lot of time to train for Cena to get wrestling shape. The kid took his torch and burned him with it, hit him with it, stuck him with it, and then ran off with it. And it was wonderfully done.
Yeah. Agreed. We both had Austin to win that, so we both got that right. Next up was a Fatal 4 tag team for the men. I instantly wrote this. Okay, slight bitch. I hated that the teams weren't even in the ring and the other fucking teams were coming out. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the setup. And I didn't notice until night 2 that it was about 35 fucking feet in the air. Because I'm watching them on the steps and everything coming down, and then the ramp is a football field long. Give them their moment to get in the ring. Like, they were introducing people way too fast in this. But I understand. You have 4 people coming out. Night 2, I realized, holy shit, where they're at is 50 feet in the air, and they're walking 30 feet down. That's crazy ass. That's why nothing happened on the ramp at WrestleMania, because somebody would have died.
Oh, yeah, for sure. However, Kevin Owens had the thought of, can I dive off of that?
Right.
Because he wanted to jump off the pirate ship in Tampa that first year before COVID canceled it. Yeah, the real pirate ship. So Kevin Owens is like, can we do a spot off of that? Would that be okay? But, I mean, that was like, I had the same thought process, because it was like, oh my God, this is kind of like a SmackDown type. We got Rushman, we only got 2 hours. But then I realized it beforehand. I'm like, that's a fucking long way down if somebody would jump off that. So I guess it makes sense that they had to be like, okay, we got to get, especially with Otis walking, you gotta hurry this. People gotta start coming out. Always takes a while, so it's like an Undertaker entrance, kind of watching thing going down. But
what were your thoughts? Is it the Profits get the win because they're the really only tag team, and it's a swan song for them?
I think so. I mean, I have to give this props because I legitimately, until later in the night, thought this stole the show, because this was actually way better than I thought it was going to be.
Agreed.
And I was way more excited and invested in this. From Gable fucking the whole German suplex or whatever it's called. I think it's like called Chaos or something like that. And he just fucking German suplex Braun to fucking Dawkins leveling Braun Strowman in that stupid train, which I hope that retires that fucking woo-woo train bullshit. But Dawkins leveling him, I jumped off the couch. I was loving that. To your point, I think it might be the Swan Song, because I think they are going to split them up. I don't think they're going to do much with the Street Profits in the next month.
No.
So I think it's time they're going to write them off. But hey, you guys got the win. Good job. We knew the Alpha Academy was on its way out. And I think, to your point, their storytelling now, what's a bigger shock? The team that just won at WrestleMania getting split up, or the team that you knew going into WrestleMania that was going to probably splitting up? Right.
We never have to worry about this because the Profits are fan favorites. Right. We never have to worry about this turn that we thought was going to happen. Who was going to turn on who? If one is drafted to SmackDown, well, clearly somebody's got to be drafted to SmackDown. And I would imagine it's going to be Ford. Because or maybe no, I don't know. I mean,
I think they put Ford over on SmackDown because then it's national television, Fox. Because listen, Fox is going to get a lot more athletes, and SmackDown's going to lend itself more to that kind of athletic expedition.
So are we having? Listen, we can talk about this real quick. Are we having Bianca switch over too soon?
Probably. No, they do have a tendency to switch the titles. That's true. No, you know what? You brought up a good point. I didn't even think about Bianca. So probably not, because why did you just move Ripley over to SmackDown if you're going to bring her right back to Raw? So that's a good point. So yeah, they'll probably send Dawkins to SmackDown and Ford to Raw.
Yeah.
So fair point. Sorry, I derailed you. Go ahead.
Either way, there's no feud in a year, 2 years. They can meet again and say, hey, remember we had that great title run? You know, why don't we come together for one more match? And the Street Profits, right? You get money there. Trust me, it's worth it. Yeah. But you're right. This match, we said it was a bathroom break. It was pretty fucking awesome.
You couldn't get off the couch.
I didn't get off the couch at all.
Jesus. But no, this was a pretty fucking good match. It was like, okay, they proved me wrong on this one again, and it was fantastic.
We're not going to cover a lot of the backstage stuff unless it was, oh my God, the up, down segment was not. Logan and Seth. Logan on the fucking zip line.
A la Shawn Michaels in LA many moons ago.
And the Prime fucking drink energy
mascot coming down.
His name is KSI,
who had turned out to be,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was
KSI Miami.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like, listen, I thought R-Truth was going to be involved. So, no disrespect. I'm like, that would be something cool. They just said here R-Truth and maybe give him a spot on Mania. But, yeah, the splash onto the pedigree kind of was really done nicely.
Yeah.
We knew because there was a contract issue with Logan, but hey, 2 weeks later, he's got another contract. He's back around. So he's right back in with the WWE. It was right, though, for Seth to get this win. I mean, because Seth has to be sniffing a title soon.
Agreed. I mean, with the draft coming up, I think they're definitely splitting titles. I think you think this too. So Seth's definitely sniffing the title. He's going to be in the contention for it, whichever brand he ends up on. Yeah, I would agree with that one. I don't know what other points you want to make, but I'll agree with that point. You can't take away from Seth there. Seth is in the title hunt wherever it ends up being. And honestly, he may be the only clear legitimate threat to Roman right now besides Cody down the line if they whatever they're going to fucking figure out there. And however the draft splits out, if Roman's on one brand, Cody's on another brand, and Seth's on Roman's brand, that's your clear threat. That's legitimately it. But I think it does a disservice to Cody, but we won't get there until we actually see this come into fruition. But go on.
We're going to talk draft a lot when we get there, but there's no possible way Roman goes to Raw, right? There's no, I mean, he's on everything, but home brand is SmackDown.
I don't think he goes to Raw unless USA's like, well, we want Roman now. Or Fox is like,
what the fuck does Fox? Listen, Fox money over USA money.
I completely agree. Don't get me wrong, but there's got to be some play there that sends Roman to Raw, unless they just really wanted to shake things up a bit. Or Roman's like, I'd rather work Mondays and have off Fridays. I don't know.
I wish I could say that.
I wish I could say that too. I would also like
mostly Mondays and have off Tuesday through.
Yes, and I need to bring this back. I think we're doing a disservice that we did not call out Seth Rollins for bringing out a conductor to conduct the crowd and then wear that god-awful fucking blow-up red jacket and then the double J pink suspender-looking shit on the ramp.
Yeah. There's some stuff that he wears and I'm like, oh, ha, 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 that looks good. Why did he dress himself like this? Like,
well, because it's between him and Becky now. It's one-upping each other with how fucking horrific
this is their gimmick. Who looks stupider?
Who looks dumber and who looks more ridiculous when we go out there? It's their little game.
But people are buying, like, people probably went out and bought a red God blessed jacket to walk around.
Yeah. You know, motherfuckers bought them red fucking boots that he wore 2 months ago.
Yep.
What if he's just like, I'm gonna do a motherfucking creator wrestler? Have you ever seen those action figures where they have different heads and body parts and different things? The boots were on one, the jacket was on another. This is a long play for next year's WrestleMania. He's just gonna bring them all back together again and then wear it next WrestleMania.
The match itself was great. Seth wins. Moving along. Listen, Damage Control against Bex, Lita, and Trish. Crazy. Everybody got everything in. There's good and bad about the match. We know what's coming. We
know what came.
Yeah, we knew what came. So we can since we're not going to talk Raw and SmackDown essentially. Fast forward, Lita gets jumped, air quoted, by somebody we don't know. She's got to defend the titles. Trish takes the loss and then turns
on Becky for some reason.
Is Lita out the door? She only was like scheduled for like 5 appearances. Because listen, SummerSlam, we're getting Trish and Becky now.
Yeah.
It's months away.
I'm going to say 6 appearances because Lita shows up at SummerSlam. I also don't believe Lita is Becky's friend in this whole thing, and I think they both turn on Becky at SummerSlam. I'll say that now because this just seems too convenient. I don't think Trish would attack her friend, and I also think this was a whole ploy. They were getting the titles off of her. Becky didn't fit the mold, something along those lines, or Becky was getting too cocky, and they're going to play off of this. That's kind of where it sits right now with me. I don't think this is Trish versus Lita. It's more Trish and Lita versus Becky is how I see this whole thing playing out.
And mark this down. One person makes the save for Becky Lynch, and it is Bayley.
Because Damage Control is breaking up. And
before SummerSlam.
Slam, yeah.
And she's going to be the first one decimated out of it.
Yep.
The writing's on the wall.
It's already there.
It's almost engraved now.
Well, in last Monday where Io's like, I want the title shot, or that whole interaction. You could
Well,
see
the Monday before when they left Bailey off of the fucking show.
Yeah. The riff is there. It's already there, and it's fucking separating, and it's getting pretty big. It's getting Grand Canyon size right now.
Yeah. Io doesn't win the title, by the way.
No. But I like it. It's a different matchup. Hey, I'm thinking, are we ready for Prison Dom and the fucking van? My guy. My guy.
I know you went with them. And if I could have switched mid-card just because of the entrance, I should have. And I would have taken the loss. But I wouldn't need to because I beat the other two.
You beat the other two, yeah.
This was fucking epic. I love. Why? What do you call the cops? Hey, will you guys bring me into WrestleMania? Handcuffed and everything. But Dom, what did you do? I was in prison 6 months ago. Looking at my teardrop.
And I was in prison for 8 hours, and it was the worst experience I ever had.
Because I slapped my mommy.
Bobby.
I loved it. And the match wasn't horrible. I will say that.
The match was good. The match, I think, was great in terms of the story it was telling.
Yes.
Yeah. And Dom's got to move quicker because I thought his sister was going to whip his ass. And I thought she almost had him. If she would have got over that barricade, she knew her place, but Leo was coming for his ass. And I'm sure he got it after Mania because that was hilarious. But I was.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you this. Did you think Bad Bunny was going to get involved? Because I kind of did, just because he was randomly out there.
All of a sudden, he's sitting front row.
Oh, he's sitting front row. He was with the Spanish announce team during it. And I'm like, this is fucking odd. I guess I can kind of see, but at the same time, I'm like, no, there's something not right here. Because you don't throw Bad Bunny out there, who's been proven that can wrestle, just to be out there.
Well, your question links kind of to mine.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure how this would continue 2 weeks ago when we talked about it because I said, Ray's not done. You think he's going into Hall of Fame and then see you later. This is his swan song. Well, he's got the LWO now. And now he's got, him and, as we said earlier, it's going to be Bad Bunny and Ray. It's not been announced, but I'm saying
it's there. It's
enough announced.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny and Ray against Dom and Priest in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Who are you picking in Puerto Rico to win, Jenks?
Well, it's got to be Bad Bunny and Ray.
Right.
I can't imagine they're going to make Bad Bunny lose that match, but, stranger things have happened, I guess. But also...
Stranger Things is getting a cartoon, by the way. Did you hear that?
What is?
Do you watch Stranger Things?
I've not seen any Stranger Things.
You would love it, by the way.
I know I would. I've watched the first episode, and I'm always like, okay, I'll come back, and then I never go back. I don't know. But let me, real quick.
We digress.
How long before until LWO turns on Ray? Because I think I had this epiphany the other night. When I'm watching them walk out to the ring, it just seems like, okay, great. We have a bunch of young talent that is in a way better position than Dom has been to dethrone Ray. And Santos being the one to send Ray off. And I guess I'm sticking on the Ray Swan song, but I feel like it's close.
Oh, I believe it's close, without a doubt.
That's going to be so monumental that Dom wasn't ready for it, but Santos, it could be. Ray's like, I'm going to handpick you. We're going to do the LWO thing. And then we're going to break it apart maybe at SummerSlam and just say, that's it or whatever. But how long do you think before the LWO makes that kind of leap? Because it's going to happen.
SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam makes sense.
Yeah. Big pay-per-view, go for it and see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. My match of night number one.
Mine too. And we're not even going to, this one, nothing touched it.
This was, Flair and Ripley was
fucking amazing.
I'm getting, again, right now because we're talking about it. I was saying, listen, I don't know. We knew Ripley was going to win. We both went Ripley. We were like, this is just her time to give it to her. They have held her back. And listen, we can give props to Charlotte as well, because Charlotte helps people as well. This is a 6-pack. This is a 12-pack. This is like, they're in my heart of hearts. Nothing touched this match in night one.
I don't think anything touched this match at all. WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
Nothing touched this match. This was far and above the best match of the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm including every company that round.
Everything that we saw. I mean, if there was an indie something there or whatever, but come on, listen.
But to that point, my God, if the build had just been better for this, Apex, this would have been, it's still going to be talked about as one of the greatest, if not the greatest women's title match in WrestleMania history. Actually, I think it is the greatest women's title match in WrestleMania history. Nothing's touched this. These two back and forth. Rhea's been held back, but I think we knew that before. Charlotte looked inspired. She looked like, oh my God, this is fantastic. She reminded us.
She was so proud what she just did. When she was sitting after the match and she had
smiling.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah.
I love that. She was proud of it. She was happy about it. She knew what she had delivered at that point. And that is a look we haven't seen on Charlotte, I don't think ever, is where she's like, this was fucking special. Yeah. When you can get Charlotte to break it, get Rhea to break it, 'cause she broke too when they both looked at each other. They both knew that this was a fucking special ass match, and they fucking delivered. And I'm proud of both of them for it.
I am too. We can't touch the rest though.
No.
By the way, yes, match of the year.
Agreed.
Move along. The whole Miz, Pat McAfee, Michael Cole. It was funny, but we don't have.
It kind of felt forced a little bit, didn't it? I mean, they're trying to force. They're trying to.
By the way, the punt. I've punched you closer now than the punt hitting Miz.
Completely agree. That looked like shit. That didn't look like it hit at all. And I feel like now we're just trying to force Cole into getting reactions. Rumble was special. This was okay. Let's not do this again for at least another year or so.
Yeah.
Get Pat on a roster, get him announcing again, but let's not. Yeah.
Who the fuck is Little Uzi Bertie or what? This was.
I was hoping you knew. I fucking know.
Stop already. Listen, I would, and it's not a disrespect. I'd rather have you bring out a notable name of like Ozzy Osbourne and let him fumble through Crazy Train, or and I'm gonna get everybody. Florida Georgia Line and sing Cruise, Madonna and sing I'm a Virgin Girl, or whatever fucking song that was. Stop with this shit. Who knows these people? You had 78,000 fucking people at WrestleMania go, what?
There's an audience for it. Let's not. But
it was WrestleMania.
Not, I agree. The audience was not there. When you saw, because they posted his name on their social media. I remember seeing the Instagram post, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And why do I care? No idea he did the Usos theme song. Could not have given a shit. There's bands that come out. I know you're not a big fan of this, of like the live entrances, but there's bands that come out that do a good job because we recognize it and they hold their own.
The lady that sang Bad Reputation prior to Avril.
Joan Jett.
Was it Joan Jett?
Yeah, Bad Reputation for Ronda, right?
Yeah.
Joan Jett, yeah.
That's fine. I didn't hate it. You get the person that sings it. I mean, again, I played Roman's song at the beginning of the show. Who is it?
One of their guys. I don't know. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Were we going to have Jim Johnson back in the day come out and sing Light Me Up for AJ Lee? Stop with this shit.
Yeah.
We get to the storyline of fucking storylines for the night. And yes, I cried. Blatantly cried at the end of this match. And I'm okay to tell you about it.
Yeah.
This was everything I needed it to be. I needed three fucking haluva kicks. I needed I was sweating. The family was up because I was literally up. 12:30 at night, people have to go to work 7 o'clock in the morning. Not me, but the wife, the kid, they were not allowed to sleep. Not that they weren't allowed to sleep. They couldn't. Because if there was a video of me swearing, crying, sweating, anything, unbelievable match. Story-wise. Match itself, I've seen it kind of on Raw before, on SmackDown. You put the pieces together. The match is a match. But it was a story. The tail end, the last 5-10 minutes, is where I really sunk my teeth into.
The story, absolutely. It was the payoff we wanted. It was beautifully told. It did everything it needed to and still cast out that the bloodline is splitting up and still fracturing. When Sammy kicked out of the 1D, I lost my shit. And I should have known I probably knew it was coming, but I still lost it because I'm like, you eat it up. You just eat all of that fucking up.
You live in the moment.
You live in the moment.
Forget what we do. And it's not like we're millionaires or anything. You forget that we make predictions and we talk about this because we shut our podcast minds off and become fans again.
That's what we love about it. When it's engaging like that, you shut your mind off. Nothing else matters. You're in the moment and you're just like, oh my God, what the fuck is going to happen next? And this has been something that the Bloodline and Sammy have provided us for the past 8 years. Every time they're on screen, you shut the fuck up and you watch because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if Sammy's going to break the entire Bloodline and make them laugh. You don't know if Roman's going to turn on Sammy. You don't know if KO and Sammy are going to get back together. It was a culmination of the most beautiful storyline WWE has ever produced. And it's still going on because there's still more story to it. It's not done. There's still more to go with it. There's sort of more to eat off of it. It was just such a beautiful thing. The match itself, you talk about it. I don't know how many super kicks the Usos kicked, but they kicked near super Young Buck levels. But they were at Young Buck levels for it. But it was still the 1D, the power bombs, everything, the haluva kicks. It was beautiful. It was like the end of a mob movie where the good guy comes out on top of the mob, and Sammy pulled the final trigger on Jay just to make sure he was out cold. It was beautifully told.
Yeah, I agree. The downfall is, let me stir the pot now. If they don't hold the titles long, I'm going to be mad. But if they spin it right back, I wouldn't be upset either. And they have a little bit more of a chase. I don't think they're going to, but yeah. But I don't want them to lose it to me and you. Like, they better fucking lose it to somebody that's noteworthy when they lose it. And I hope it's not for a while.
Well, I don't think it's going to be for a while. I think we're at the precipice where WWE needs to start building these teams up and solidifying their tag team division because that's the only way you're getting it off of Sammy and KO.
Well, they're not losing them in Puerto Rico. Okay? Because it's going to be a six-man
tag. Yeah.
They don't go to Saudi.
Yeah, they're not going to be in Saudi.
Money in the Bank, maybe?
Possibly. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Because it's Night of Champions. All the titles need to be on the line, right? Or should be on the line. Are they going to take the title, at least half the titles off in the draft from them? So they're going to have to force a title off of them at some capacity to get, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. We got 2 months. We'll see.
We'll find out.
Night 2 starts with Brock and Omos. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know. But again, wasn't the greatest of matches, but it did what it needed to do. It did just enough that Brock still looks like a badass and almost needs to go away.
It did. You're right. It did what it needed to do. Brock hit a fucking F5 on fucking Omos, and that's exactly what we came there to see. We said this match was to watch Brock at 5 Omos, and he did it. And it was fantastic. And I just looked it up. I didn't realize this was Brock's first WrestleMania victory since 2018. I didn't realize that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof. Against
Omos. Against Omos.
Is that one that you hang your hat on? And when he comes out and does his Hall of Fame speech in 5 years or whatever.
I broke my streak by beating Omos and F5ing his ass.
Ooh! Everybody's going to be like, who? It's not going to be what? It's going to be who?
New Day's going to be leading it.
He's not going to be relevant in 5 years.
He's not.
Prove me wrong. All right. The women's showcase match, just as we expected, Ronda did nothing in the match. Listen.
Shayna did nothing too.
They both did nothing. This is, as much as I'm not knocking the Brock and Omos match because it did what it needed to do. This match sucked. This is my worst match because motherfucker. And I'm not saying it because Chelsea and Sonya, I love them, or even Raquel and Liv, which turn about 2 weeks later. Hello.
Women's tag team champions.
Now they're the tag team champions. I thought Ronda and Shayna were supposed to get the shot first by winning this.
I thought so too. I don't know. Did we just assume that and that wasn't the case?
I mean, essentially, listen, I think they're getting the titles. Is it just that Liv and Raquel got the titles because they have to push Lita and Trish out the door for a couple months?
And Ronda's not physically ready.
Healthy yet.
Yeah.
So you get charity titles again until they get healthy, and then you're going to lose them because this sucked again because nothing is done right around these women's championships. I was an advocate. Me, Sasha, and Bayley were fucking waving the flag at WWE headquarters, which is getting ready to move. Now I'm with Sasha and Naomi throwing them back at Vince saying, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
They have done nothing right with these titles.
And I think it's because they just don't know what to do with them. They cannot commit to keeping groups of women together to stay and build a division out of it. Well, I'm not going to belabor that point, but you're right. This just didn't feel like it was anything coherent. The showcase matches were night and day. The men's, they were established teams who worked off of each other. They were guys that had worked previously with each other. They knew what their ins and outs were. They were talented individuals. They could make this work and make it turn into something special. The women, on the other hand, yes, they're all talented females, but they're not solidified groups. Some of them are a little far back in terms of wrestling ability versus other people in the match. So it kind of did not balance out or shake out well enough, and the right people weren't in the contest to make it something digestible enough for anybody.
Well put. Bobby carries a trophy out that he won. I thought somebody was going to come out and smash it, and then he just walked around with it.
I thought so too. I thought we were going to get an LA Knight type face-off type thing, you know what I mean? Just to show out.
Just to say, hey, yeah, or let's go have a match right now because I won this Friday night.
Yeah, or hell, even just get the Hurt Lock put on him on the stage would have been something.
Why no LA Knight at all? Like, did he piss in somebody's Cheerios?
Yeah. Why did we write him off? I don't understand that.
Well, what do we have up?
Big beefy men. Big beefy. Oh, Xavier and up, down, down. But big beefy men slapping meat.
Yeah. What can you say? I mean, this was banger after banger after banger after banger. Who said their fucking skin is gonna fall? They didn't say fucking clearly, but I always have to put an extra word in. Their skin is gonna fall off. Yeah. Everybody's chest was disgusting.
Disgusting. Purple, red, hamburger flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was nothing. This wasn't going to be this was not going to be pretty in the terms of what they were going to fucking do to each other. It was going to be pretty in terms of match quality, but it was not going to be pretty in what they were going to do to each other.
I put that's not being top tonight. And
I agreed with that. No. It was. Story-wise,
We'll get there.
top. We'll get there. Match-wise,
Physicality,
no.
match-wise,
No.
best match of the night.
Wasn't touched.
Asuka and EST. Listen, Bianca won. Bianca had that moment with the girl. That was kind of the high spot of, and not to saying it was a bad match, but I'm just saying, like, why are we still going? Are we getting a heel turn? Is what my big question to this match is. Are we getting a heel turn from Bianca? That's why she kept the title.
I think we have to. I think it has to become. She gets too arrogant. She has to get arrogant about these titles. 365, it's going to go to your head. Nobody's going to beat me. You beat the dangerous Asuka, which was going to be the threat level for you. Nobody's going to touch me. I'm better than everybody in this roster. She's beaten everybody there is to be beaten.
There's nobody.
I mean, Io's up next. Yeah, great. But there's nobody in line right now that's going to overcome her. And it's like, I'm 100% better than anybody you've faced.
Charlotte's off minimal till SummerSlam. That's where her return. She's not going anywhere.
And it's going to be Charlotte
any of those overseas.
Yeah. Yep.
So that takes, because Charlotte doesn't need the Money in the Bank to get a title shot.
Oh God, no.
So she's gone. See you in Detroit. Take Becky out. She's got Lita and Trish to worry about.
Yep.
So there's a bit. We really have no idea what's up with Bayley. If she gets thrown out of, when she gets thrown out of Damage Control, she's off TV for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be. Once she's been out of the four horsewomen, the three horsewomen left there, she has been the one that's been around the longest.
She's the workhorse of the horsewomen.
Yeah. So if she takes a break and changes up her shit, comes back it's not going to be hugger, which I understand, but just changes something. She needs this. She needs a break, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Io. I would push for Dakota. The only person I could see is Raquel. Well, you just gave her the tag team titles now.
So she's out
as well.
6 weeks at least. Let's be honest, they're not keeping it past 6 weeks, but well, maybe 8. They'll get it through the Saudi show or something. But I agree. But even Raquel's not in a position to. She's still smiling and not being. She's Raquel, and I'm not calling her the Rock. Don't get this wrong. Raquel is the Rocky Maivia of her character right now.
Right.
Smiling, happy-go-lucky. How you doing? You know. Things of that nature. When she loses that smile and becomes a motherfucking beast badass, it's over for her. It's over for all of them.
Yeah. By the way, SmackDown's on. But we can't watch it tonight, Jakes. We have to plug.
We got to focus. We got to go.
Yeah, we have to go. So yeah, we'll see what comes up with Bianca. We'll see what comes up with Asuka too, because where does this leave Asuka?
Yeah, I don't. What was the whole point of the character change if we're not going to get?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was too early for this whole Asuka new face paint.
This is legit where I went to the bathroom first time in 2 nights. I didn't know Shane McMahon was in this until I saw him being helped out. Because I'm like, oh, Snoop Dogg turned on the Miz. I literally ran upstairs, pissed, came down, and I saw Snoop Dogg pinning the Miz and getting a win. I'm like, what the hell just happened? How did this come about? I don't know. Then I see Shane McMahon being carried out. I'm like, oh, God. And then just reading instantly then that he pulled his dad. Essentially, he pulled his quad as soon as he got in the ring.
He's doing the Mount Rushmore of quad tears. Kevin Nash, Triple H, Vince, and him. Yeah.
And him. Exactly. Yeah. I went back and watched this, and I listened.
Did you regret going back and watching it?
What?
Did you regret going back and watching it?
I did. Shane, I apologize that you're hurt. I hope you mend, but this was fucking hilarious.
He landed. He was like, what the is he breakdancing? What the hell is going on?
Whoa.
I realized that And then, hey, Snoop Dogg, I give him props for coming in and just decking Miz.
Well,
I know the camera guy told him to punch him, but at the same time, Snoop Dogg, he's a gangster. He'll step up to the plate if he needs to and do what he needs to do. I like it. God awful people's elbow, but hey, you know what? He did his best. So,
Hell in a Cell. Listen, I said I hated the what match did I hate? What did I talk?
Women's
showcase. Yeah, the showcase match. This was a step above it. It really was, because of this is a Hell in a Cell. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I understand we don't need Moxley out there or Abdullah the Butcher or anything like that, but motherfucker, this is supposed to be a Hell in a Cell battle of death do us part.
Yeah.
Give us a nosebleed, for the love of God, paper cut, something that makes me believe that you hate each other.
They had the blood. They just stapled him right at ringside, which to that point, I would have had no idea he was bleeding until they stopped the match.
Yeah.
Because the makeup hid the blood.
Yeah.
Except what dripped on the ground, but the makeup was hiding the blood, so nothing. But I agree, Hell in a Cell needs to have color. It needs to have that blood.
I understand the stapling, like that. Yes.
The stapling, I get, yes, but you had blood. Something. Let it go.
Somebody.
Do something. Make it look Brood Edge. You come out talking about Brood Edge. You used to spit blood everywhere with Gangrel. So just take it, rub it, Brood Edge. Okay, fine. I'll believe it now. But this was like regular Edge with a emo side versus the Demon, and he beat the Demon. That's what this match was. And there was nothing.
I almost pulled the trigger like 2 nights before on a Demon Finn Balor autograph, JSA, PSA, like 16 times fucking inserted, awesome painting of him. And you know how I am about painting.
Yeah.
I love like those. They couldn't pay me to take anything, and you said this earlier, that the Demon's dead.
Yeah.
You can't pay me to take anything from the Demon now. The Demon losing twice up here now even kills the Demon in NXT.
Agreed.
It means nothing when the Demon comes around anymore.
No.
Nothing.
It needed a way. It needed to feel like it was dominant. Matt, like he just had to have a dominant performance to bring it back to life.
He didn't.
It didn't. And it looked weak. And I get it. I get the staples. I agree with the stapling. But at the same time, it also lost the mystique of the Demon, because you're just like, well, fuck. It is what it is at this point. He's not anything special.
And I understand if you don't want to reach out to Christian. All right. Yeah. He is under contract. And even if Tony said, yeah, you can go do it once, whatever. Yeah. We all can believe what we want to believe. Gangrel is doing nothing.
I thought Gangrel was supposed to be there.
$5, let him promote his wrestling school that he has in Florida, which, go back and listen to Anna Diaz's Spotlight. She talks all about it. That's Anna Diaz's mom's boyfriend. So, he could have been there in a hot minute. He was already in L.A.
I was going to say, he was there.
Yeah, because he did indie shows out there. Hey, do you have your gear? Yeah, because wrestlers always are supposed to have their gear. Cool. Yeah. Be at WrestleMania walk down with Edge. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be which it ended up being the Brood fucking song anyway. It didn't have to be. Just his presence there. Walk him down. All right, you're not going to do anything in Hell in a Cell. Just leave then. It brings it all back. I would have been happy if Beth walked down. I would have been happy if anything came with Edge. Horseshit. Yeah. Came with Edge.
I think these West Coast, and I'm not dissing West Coast WrestleManias, but that does disservice to matches like this.
I texted you that same fucking
You did, and I have to bring it back up because it was a valid point. When it is light out, the Aurora or the atmosphere, aura. Thank you. I don't know why I said aurora, but the aura, the atmosphere was gone. It's not there anymore. Demon's entrance is special when there's not sunlight involved. When it is pitch black in the arena, the smoke's coming up, it looks beautiful. It looks great. Edges would have benefited from that. This same thing happened
to the Undertaker years
ago. 8 years ago.
San Francisco?
Yeah, I'm thinking, right in that area. Undertaker and Wyatt, both of them, they were against each other, but they lost it because the mystique was not there when they came out. The West Coast are great pay-per-views, are great stadiums, great places to have them, but they lose the aura around them because they're just so much light because the sun hasn't set yet, and you can only do so much with it.
I understand. Yeah, I completely agree. Yes, that's what I told you.
Yep.
And I understand, listen, you want to do big things. You want to have 80,000 people there. If you're going to do anything with The Undertaker, Bray Wyatt, people like this, that's when you have to have it inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this was in where the Lakers are, and I know you're only going to get 24,000, 30,000 people compared, that's 50,000 people that you're not going to have there. Understand. Just don't do something then. Don't let him come down with a falcon on his shoulder, or like they did that when they started at 4:00 at what the hell time? Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
He at least came out with an urn or something.
A vulture or something to make it look,
right.
No, I would agree with that 100%. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
All right.
You ready?
We're here.
We are here. And this is where I said, listen, either way, I'd be happy.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my I'm the One shirt now. And I cried at the beginning of the fucking match. Why did I cry at the beginning of the match, Jenks?
Was it just the moment that just got you so deep in your soul?
No, that he gave the fucking title, the belt to -1.
I know. The -1 spot was completely amazing. Don't.
No, and I'm not mad at you. I'm just like, that was enough.
It was we texted back and forth with it, and you made the mention of the dad moment once again. And I completely agree with that. It was a culmination, and I'm sitting there like, is this going to happen? They're showcasing it, and Michael Cole being reverent with the whole thing and explaining it to the casual fans, because casual fans don't know who -1 is, don't understand that connection that they had.
They also did call him -1.
They didn't. They called him John
Little
Huber's
Brody.
son. Yeah, Little Brody. Yep. But it was beautifully done, and they paid respect. And I loved that kind of handing off, like, little man, this is for you. This is your dad, and everything about it. Although they did use the belt later on in the match, which kind of pissed me off a little bit. I was like, God damn it.
How did they get it from Little Brody? Like,
yeah. How did that happen? And I'm like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they would have shown what happened and how they got the belt from Little Brody. Just something.
Little bit,
just to play it off a little bit. Because I'm like, how did they get the belt?
This match was a roller coaster as well. Like, I had already known that I won the championship back, so I really didn't care by then. So if Cody would have won, I would have been happy. I would have probably bought the American Nightmare hoodie and had that on instead. They didn't, by the way. They didn't have fat size in the American Nightmare hoodie. They only had like little kid sizes. So I could have went either way. I did love the match itself. Was good. Like, it was a good match. I didn't know where it was going. I thought Cody had it 3 or 4 times. And then once the ref kind of got bumped, and then I'm like, okay, definitely Roman's keeping it for sure. It solidifies everything. And then you hear the music, and it was awesome. I was still hoping, though, at the end, if you smell, but I guess I was wrong on that. And I'm done on that fucking perch as well, as much as I'm done Fight Forever.
I gave up on that perch last month, but
I'm a little.
No, you're fine. You're good. I will say I was pissed at the end of it because I thought it should have changed. I guess looking back on it now, they built it up where you thought the hope was there that he was still going to get it. Yes, the storyline would play into it, but think about all the things that happened during WrestleMania that night or the night before. Bad Bunny rescuing Ray from getting hit with a chain. So you're thinking, oh, okay, it's only Solo. Somebody's going to get him or something's going to happen. He's not going to make it happen. He hit Cody. Cody's going to kick out. Cody's got this. Cody's going to do it. Yeah, man. 3. Now fucking the music hits and Roman is on top of the mountain and he's the one. And I was just like, this was it. This was perfect. This was everything. You said chasing, the money's in the chase. That night, I'm sitting there thinking.
You were pissed.
I was pissed. And I was sitting there thinking how, like, I wasn't pissed about the title loss or whatever for me. I was pissed by this because I'm sitting there like, but at some point the chase has to end for the money to be worth it. And I guess to me, I don't see where this goes to make it there. But now that we've gotten a couple weeks out, things could be developing. It's not there yet, but it looks like it's starting to kind of. We'll be okay.
Back on that in a second. I want to say that I stayed up again. Stupid. I stayed up and I watched the press conference after. Only 3 people came out, and Roman was one, and the question was asked. And then Triple H came out and he's like, the whole shtick of this is to end the story, right? Because he was asked the whole thing to end the story. In WWE, stories don't end. That's when I threw the fucking remote down and was like, you got us. That's true. We always say that, story ends, this, that. But that was the whole story of Cody and Roman was to end the story. It only just, and I hate to say it, that the song, it only just begun. It really did only just begin. I just don't understand the wrinkle. So 2 weeks out, let me know. How are we getting there that it's going to end up Cody and Roman again?
Are we getting there? Because now, let's go off of that point. We talk about, the story never ends, it never ends, whatever. This isn't lamb chop. Some things have to end at some point.
Right.
Right? This is where I get scared about the draft. And this is where I think the disservice comes into play. Because they split these titles off. Roman takes a streak. Cody goes to a separate brand and wins the WWE title. That doesn't end the story. That does a disservice unless we're going to bring this back next year where Cody, now that he's taken the WWE title, won and lost it by this point, comes back and says, I want your title because we need to finish what we started. That's where, is that going to be the story we're playing at here over the next year? I don't know, because we're getting Brock and Cody next month at Puerto Rico.
And are you excited for that?
I wasn't expecting it, so I don't know if I can be excited for it, because I wasn't expecting it to be a thing that I think it's going to be a great match. Cody and Brock can bring it. They can carry a match. So it's going to be a great match. It's not something I would have picked first, though.
Does Cody get 2 big losses?
No.
So you're saying Cody's going to beat Brock fucking Lesnar?
Cody's got to beat Brock Lesnar.
How?
Hook or by crook. I don't know.
He just beat the fucking giant of giants. And this is, I'm stirring the pot.
You can stir the pot. But I'm thinking this is, in my mind, I'm going right back to Cena Lesnar 2012.
I agree.
I know you agree, but I think
they're going to spin this that 8-foot fucking almost. Papa, he slayed the giant. What can Cody Rhodes do against this man?
I get it. And this is where I'm going back to 2012 Cena and Lesnar. Brock's going to beat the shit out of him for 20 minutes, and then fucking we're going to get Super Cody, Homelander, fucking 14 crossroads that just go around the ring 4 times, and then it's over. Like, or he's going to bury him under a bunch of shit and get a 10 count, even though that's not how that works in a regular match. But
or do we get interference? Because This is a one-off. This is a one-off. Is Brock done until SummerSlam then?
Yep. I'm surprised he's going to Puerto Rico, to be honest. This has to be a listen, man. We will give you
$5 million match.
Giving you $5 million. Just go down to Puerto Rico, beat the shit out of Cody, lose, and then you can go home to Saskatchewan for another 4 months and come back. That's all it screams to me is just I'm surprised I got Brock to agree to go to Puerto Rico. Like that's where I'm at. Like how did that happen?
Brock's not going to Saudi?
Oh, that's a good point. He would have to go to
money. That's $10 million.
That's $10 million. I guess who does he face at Saudi though?
Braun fucking Strowman again, the Ultimate Warrior. It depends on who the Prince wants him to fight.
The Ghost of Yokozuna would be a hell. He's got to top the Omos F5.
Right, right, and we joke about this. We understand
we're joking, yeah.
But sometimes Prince doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. All in all, I loved WrestleMania. I love the weekend. This has probably been one of my favorite WrestleMania weekends in a long time. From us doing the podcast Thursday night, to watching Supercard Saturday, to 8 hours of wrestling with Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania Saturday, to Sunday. Listen, though, the Raws and the SmackDowns directly after WrestleManias have been hot garbage. I understand some stuff. The Raw after WrestleMania was the worst Raw after WrestleMania ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And this past week's, there was travel issues. I don't understand how there was travel issues. What was making travel issues?
Seattle's a tough place to get to. It's in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what the hell was making travel issues. I didn't understand it. I don't know how people only got there at 10:30 at night, and then they had to do the main event spot. Sammy and Riddle got there at 10:30 at night and barely got to the. I don't know how that happened. There must have been a monsoon going through fucking Seattle.
I mean, maybe I should pay more attention to world fucking news. There might have been something going on. I don't know. It didn't happen in the sports realm. So, by the way, sports realm, go fuck yourself. The last time we brought up baseball, you were 1-0. Now you're like 12-0.
Yeah, 12-0. How are they doing right now? Anyways, let's see. Well, we're down 2-1 here in the fourth inning to the Blue Jays. So
you're fine. All right. So brief. I mean, because we're like 2.5 in already. AEW, what have you noticed that you're like, yeah, this is gonna be why Mark goes this Wednesday? Jeff Hardy's back?
I don't know if it's Jeff Hardy being back. Maybe is it the Mogul Embassies? Is that gonna call your name with Brian Cage? See how that goes. Maybe.
Let me put it this way: everybody has officially been called out by MJF or made their way out by MJF, including Sting Daddy with Cody Daddy, and we're all at Daddy Daycare. Who was in the movie Daddy Daycare? Fucking Google that real quick.
Daddy Daycare was Eddie Murphy, and I can't remember the big white guy's name.
Okay, so
I know it's Eddie Murphy.
Are they coming to Pittsburgh this Wednesday? I will lose my shit if they come. But what's MJF gonna do? All three are gonna be back in the ring against him again.
Yep.
Because it started like that. We've seen all three solo.
Yeah, they're gonna come back around, and we're gonna get you're gonna get a brawl this Wednesday in Pittsburgh. That's all that's gonna happen. You're gonna get DMD back just in time for Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Wardlow better be there.
Wardlow has to be there. They just had that fucking whole thing with Powerhouse. Outside of that, you get the BCC kicking somebody's ass. Maybe the Elite. You can sing "Carry On My Wayward Son" live and in person.
Oh, I'm going to go live. I'm gonna see you if Galbo and Soup will sing with me this time. The thing is, the last time I went to a Dynamite, it was essentially 2 nights after everything went down.
Yeah.
and it was like, holy shit. It was a mega Dynamite. This isn't. We're not leading up. I mean, granted, pay-per-view's a month away.
And a half, yeah.
I mean, it's still, we got baby build up. I don't know. This is a throwaway Dynamite that I'm going to. Thank God I'm not going to work Thursday because I'll probably have some beers and Galbo can drive home.
Yeah. I don't know what to get excited for. And it's going to be promo heavy. Orange Cassidy, maybe wrestling, but maybe get Takeshita. That might be fun.
I'm clearly, I got the tickets now.
You're so excited about this.
So what?
You're so excited about it.
I'm almost excited about this as going on a cruise with the. Love you, honey. So yeah, all right. Next week, we're gonna wrap this up. Next, we'll be back, normal format. We'll cover all the shows. We'll be able to tell you that Xavier Woods is getting his ass beat right now by LA Knight.
He's gonna lose to LA Knight, so we know that.
Yeah. Are these qualifying matches for? No, we're not having qualifying matches yet for.
Okay, no, probably not till May.
Not until after
Backlash.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So, what do you got going on? You got some shindigs going on. I know we kind of talked about it at the beginning, but
yeah,
going on for birthdays and such.
We got a couple birthday celebrations tomorrow. That's about all I got going on. Next week is pretty straightforward for the most part. How about you? You got anything crazy going on?
As you're listening, I'm going to the blue and gold game. Watch Pitt. Get ready for. I'm actually really. I know. Listen, I know it's April. My final payment was made on season tickets, so now I'm officially season ticket holder. I'm excited to, I don't want to fast forward stuff, but just the weekends at, Heinz Field Stadium is nice. It's actually nice because me and the wife have it planned out. Nobody is bothering us this weekend. And listen, we have to make those weekends. And Pitt football is going to be that weekend for us. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Like stuff like that. There's some good games on the schedule. Ethan's going to go to the Thursday night Boston College game with me.
Nice.
Just so he doesn't have to go to school the fucking following day.
I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, he's a smart kid.
He is.
But yeah, I have a couple interviews this week. 2 or 3 softball/baseball games this week. And I will now announce who the spotlight is. Heidi Lee Morgan. Old school wrestler, was part of the whole Alundra Blaze / Wendy Richter, Sherry Martel, Moolah kind of era. She's only a couple years older than me, but she was so involved in the Alundra Blaze winning the championship and then throwing away essentially soon after on TV. So she comes on, she talks about this, that, and the other. I don't want to ruin it. I have to put it together for Wednesday, but it's a great spot with her. So yeah,
that's fantastic. I can't wait to hear it.
We'll slowly be getting some more, high ground professional wrestlers on, as May 13th is the next show. I'm going to be that guy. I don't know what it's called yet because the promo poster is not out, but I know it's May 13th at the Falcon's Nest, and I will be there.
All right.
We'll have that show coming soon.
All right.
But
can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't fucking wait.
All right. Remember, just because we're all trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
We're all garbage cans, not garbage can knots. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.